Welcome to Quiet Lives. Before we drift into tonight's journey, if you find sanctuary here, please consider subscribing to join our community of rest. I would love to know which corner of the world you are finding peace in tonight, and what hour it is where you are. Feel free to share your story in the comments below. Now, let's begin. The first warmth of the morning sun gently traces a path across your bare arm, a soft, golden stripe against the cool, smooth stone of your elevated scribe's chamber in Tikal. A faint, earthy scent of damp stone and distant jungle foliage drifts in through the open archway, carried on the very first breath of the day. You feel the familiar, comforting texture of the finely woven cotton mat beneath you, layered over a soft, tanned jaguar hide, cushioning you from the solid floor. You begin to stir, a slow, unhurried stretch that eases the night stillness from your limbs. Your fingers curl, tracing the slight roughness of the mat's natural fibers. A faint, distant call of a tropical bird floats up from the canopy below, a soft, rhythmic sound that blends into the quiet hum of the awakening forest. You shift your weight, feeling the slight give of the hide, the cool air brushing against your skin as you slowly sit upright. Your gaze drifts across the chamber, taking in the familiar, meticulously organized space. On a low, polished cedar table, your writing implements rest in perfect order. A stack of smooth bark paper, a small, intricate jade palette holding a selection of mineral pigments, and a collection of fine-tipped brushes made from bird feathers. The light catches the subtle sheen of a polished obsidian mirror leaning against the far wall, reflecting the gentle, increasing glow outside. You pause, simply observing the way the early light illuminates the intricate carvings on the wooden doorframe, patterns of glyphs telling stories of lineage and time. A quiet rustle at the chamber entrance signals the arrival of your attendant. Without a word, a soft, unbleached cotton tunic, freshly folded, is laid on the edge of your sleeping platform. You reach for it, feeling the cool, crisp fabric against your fingertips. The simple act of drawing it over your head is a practiced motion, the material falling with a soft sigh around your body, settling against your skin. You smooth the fabric over your shoulders, feeling its light weight, a comfortable embrace for the day ahead. You rise then, your bare feet finding the cool, smooth surface of the polished plaster floor. Each step is deliberate, silent. Approaching the open archway, you pause, allowing the rising sun to fully warm your face. The air here, so high above the city, feels clean and fresh, carrying just a hint of the cooking fires beginning to stir in the distant compounds. The vast, green canopy of the jungle stretches out before you, an endless, undulating sea, dotted with the stone peaks of other temples emerging like islands in the morning mist. You take a slow, deep breath, the scent of damp earth and verdant growth filling your lungs, a gentle welcome to the day. The city below is still largely quiet, a murmur rather than a clamor, as the first rays of light begin to paint the upper reaches of the grand pyramid structures in shades of soft gold and rose. The soft golden light that bathes the distant pyramid tops now begins to deepen within your own chamber, casting long, gentle shadows from the carved wooden beams overhead. You turn from the archway, your bare feet making no sound on the cool, polished plaster, and move slowly towards the low cedar table that holds your day's work. The scent of aged wood, subtle and comforting, grows stronger as you approach, mingling with the faint, sweet perfume of copal resin burning in a small, unseen censer somewhere below. Your gaze settles on the stack of smoothed bark paper, waiting patiently for your touch. You reach out, your fingertips brushing lightly over the top sheet, feeling its almost silky texture, the result of countless hours of meticulous preparation and polishing. It feels surprisingly pliable, yet firm, a perfect surface for the delicate strokes of your glyphs. You carefully lift one sheet from the stack, the slight friction creating a barely audible whisper, a soft rustle that seems to momentarily fill the quiet room. You turn the paper over in your hands, examining its even, pale surface, a testament to the skill of the artisans who prepared it. Next, your attention shifts to the finely honed obsidian stylus. It rests on a small woven reed mat, gleaming with a deep, dark luster in the increasing light. You pick it up, feeling the cool, dense weight of the volcanic glass in your palm. The polished facets of its handle fit perfectly between your fingers, expertly shaped for comfort and control. You trace the incredibly sharp, delicate point with the pad of your thumb, a cautious, reverent motion, feeling the precise, almost imperceptible edge. This tool, crafted with such care, is an extension of your thought, your hand. You place the sheet of bark paper deliberately onto the smooth cedar surface of the table, arranging it with gentle precision. The edges align perfectly with the subtle grain of the wood. Then, you set the obsidian stylus down beside it, its dark point hovering just above the paper. Ready, you pause, allowing your eyes to drift to the small jade palette beside your writing tools. Within its shallow depressions lie small amounts of rich, vibrant pigments, a deep, earthy red from cinnabar, a brilliant blue derived from local minerals, and a lustrous black from soot. Each color holds its own quiet power, waiting to be brought to life. A faint, almost imperceptible breeze whispers through the open archway, carrying with it the distant, rhythmic chirping of cicadas, a constant, lulling backdrop to your quiet work. You notice the way the morning light now fully illuminates the polished surface of the cedar table, revealing the intricate patterns of its grain, each swirl and line a silent story. The chamber feels still, yet alive with the promise of creation. You simply sit, observing the stillness, the readiness, before the first mark is ever made. The air is still, holding the promise of the day's work. The gentle, rising warmth of the morning sun now coaxes you away from the cedar table and your prepared tools, a subtle invitation to step beyond the quiet of your chamber. You turn, your bare feet finding the familiar cool of the polished plaster floor as you move towards a low, arched doorway at the opposite end of the room. The air here feels slightly heavier, imbued with the faint, sweet memory of the copal resin that often burns nearby. You pass through the arch, the transition seamless, into a short shaded gallery. Here the air is noticeably cooler, a welcome contrast, and the sound of a distant trickling water feature becomes more distinct, a soft, rhythmic whisper that draws you forward. Your fingers lightly brush against the smooth, cool surface of the plastered wall as you walk, feeling the subtle imperfections, the hand of the artisan long ago. A delicate scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine begins to unfold, growing stronger with each silent step. The passage opens and you step into your private courtyard, a sanctuary bathed in the soft, diffused light of the still early morning. The space immediately feels different. A delicate breeze rustles the broad leaves of the plantain trees that line one wall, creating a soft, dry whisper. The air is vibrant with the scent of tropical blossoms, a rich, heady sweetness that mingles with the clean, mineral smell of the small, carved stone fountain gently bubbling in the center. You notice the way the sunlight filters through the dense foliage, painting shifting patterns of light and shadow across the meticulously swept flagstones beneath your feet. You approach a low carved stone bench, softened by a thick woven cotton cushion dyed a deep earthy red. The fabric feels cool and slightly rough against your palm as you settle down, the cushion yielding just enough to cradle you comfortably. The sound of the fountain is now a clear, constant murmur, a tranquil backdrop to the awakening day. Almost immediately, your attendant appears from a hidden alcove, moving with a quiet grace that is barely perceptible. They carry a tall, slender ceramic vessel exquisitely painted with glyphs, its surface a rich, dark brown, and a subtle steam rising from its rim. The vessel is presented to you with a silent bow. You take it feeling the substantial, satisfying weight of the ceramic in your hands. It is warm but not hot, radiating a gentle heat that seeps into your palms. You bring it closer, and the rich, complex aroma of spiced cacao rises to meet you. Deep, earthy notes of roasted cacao beans, a sharp, invigorating hint of chili, and a delicate sweetness of honey, all intertwined. The surface of the drink is topped with a frothy, airy foam, a testament to its careful preparation. You lift the vessel to your lips, the smooth rim cool against them, and take a slow, deliberate sip. The foam is light, almost ethereal, giving way to the liquid beneath. The cacao is rich and velvety, coating your tongue with its complex flavors. First, the deep, slightly bitter earthiness, then the surprising, subtle warmth of the chili spreading through your mouth, followed by a lingering, natural sweetness. It is invigorating, yet soothing, a perfect balance for the quiet contemplation of the morning. You close your eyes for a moment, simply savoring the warmth as it spreads gently through your chest, feeling the soft current of the breeze on your skin, the distant, rhythmic chirping of hidden insects, and the constant, lulling sound of the water. The simple act of holding the warm vessel, feeling its smooth texture, and tasting the carefully prepared drink creates a sense of deep, unhurried contentment. You open your eyes again, watching the sunlight play across the vivid green leaves, the world feeling perfectly balanced, perfectly still. The lingering warmth of the spiced cacao settles pleasantly within you as you gently place the exquisite ceramic vessel back onto the smooth stone bench in your private courtyard. A faint, sweet hint of the chili and honey remains on your tongue, a soft echo of the morning draft. You rise slowly, the unbleached cotton of your tunic rustling with a barely audible whisper, and turn towards another archway, this one leading away from the verdant enclosure and deeper into the elevated structure of your residence. Stepping through the cool, shaded passage, the air shifts again, becoming lighter, carrying a more expansive, yet still muted, symphony of the awakening city below. Your hand brushes lightly against the cool, rough-hewn stone of the archway, feeling the ancient, solid strength of the construction. The passage opens onto your secluded balcony, a privileged vantage point carved directly into the sun-warmed stone, offering a sweeping, unobstructed view of the grand plaza and the monumental structures that define Tikal. A subtle breeze, now carrying the dry, mineral scent of ancient stone warmed by the sun, brushes against your face. You move towards the low, intricately carved stone railing, its surface smooth and warm beneath your fingertips. Leaning gently, your gaze is drawn immediately to the grand plaza below, where several towering stelae stand sentinel, their imposing forms reaching towards the clear cerulean sky. These are the silent chroniclers of your lineage, of great rulers and cosmic events, etched in stone for centuries. The morning sun, now higher and more direct, begins its slow, deliberate dance across their meticulously carved surfaces. You notice how the light first catches the highest, most prominent features of a particular stela, illuminating the raised edges of a ruler's headdress, or the delicate curve of a ceremonial staff. As the sun climbs, the shadows deepen and shift, giving a profound three-dimensional quality to the intricate glyphs and figures. Each carved line, each subtle profile, seems to deepen and soften with the shifting light, revealing details you might miss in a different hour. You trace the patterns of light with your eyes, observing how a ripple of sunlight moves down a column of glyphs, making each symbol momentarily stand out before blending back into the overall design. The surface of the aged limestone, pitted and weathered by seasons, takes on a soft, almost glowing quality where the sun touches it directly. You can almost feel the texture of the carved stone through your gaze, imagining the precise, patient work of the ancient artisans. The distant, rhythmic sounds of the city, a gentle murmur of daily life, rise faintly. But here, on your balcony, the focus remains on the quiet drama of light unfolding across history. You watch as a particularly elaborate glyph depicting a mythical creature is slowly brought into sharper relief by the advancing sun, its details emerging with a quiet power. The air feels still, holding the weight of centuries within its gentle currents. The gentle, increasing warmth of the sun, which moments ago danced across the ancient stelae, now prompts you to step back from the stone railing of your secluded balcony. You turn, leaving the expansive vista behind, and re-enter the cool, shadowed passage that connects your private chambers. The air within this enclosed space carries a faint, dry scent of ancient plaster and the distant, muted sounds of the city's slow awakening. Your bare feet glide silently across the smooth floor, each step a soft, deliberate motion. You pass through another low archway, its finely carved lintel cool against your fingertips as you duck beneath, and find yourself in a dedicated space, your personal artesian workshop. Here the light is softer, filtered through a series of small, precisely cut openings high on one wall, casting gentle, diffused pools onto the various work surfaces. The air is rich with a subtle, earthy aroma, a blend of dried herbs, mineral dust, and the faint, sweet trace of beeswax. This is a place of quiet focus, where precious materials are transformed. Along one wall, a long, low table of polished mahogany, its surface worn smooth by generations of scribes, holds an array of small, carefully arranged ceramic bowls and woven reed baskets. Each container cradles a different pigment, a treasure trove of colors awaiting your selection. You approach the table, your gaze sweeping over the vibrant spectrum. You notice the way the filtered light catches the deep, lustrous red of finely ground cinnabar in one bowl, almost glowing with an inner fire. Beside it, a soft, creamy white kaolin sits, ready for mixing. You reach for a small, shallow bowl containing a rich, deep blue pigment. Your fingertips delicately touch the surface, feeling the almost impalpable powder, cool and smooth. This is Maya blue, renowned for its enduring brilliance, a complex blend of indigo and clay. You lift a small, polished bone spatula, its tip perfectly shaped, and gently scoop a minute amount of the blue, transferring it to your personal mixing palette made of polished jade. The soft, almost inaudible scrape of the spatula against the ceramic is a quiet, satisfying sound. Next, your attention is drawn to a small, tightly woven palm fiber pouch. You untie the intricate knot with careful, unhurried fingers, feeling the slight resistance of the fibers. As the pouch opens, a deep, reddish-purple powder is revealed, derived from cochineal insects, a color of immense value and rarity. The scent of it is faint, almost sweet, like dried berries and earth. You take another small measure with the bone spatula, adding it carefully to the jade palette, allowing the two colors to rest side by side, distinct yet harmonious. You then consider the lustrous black, derived from finely sifted soot, essential for the crisp outlines of glyphs. It sits in a tiny lidded obsidian jar, its surface incredibly smooth and cool to the touch. You lift the lid with a precise, quiet motion, revealing the dense, velvety blackness within. The faint scent of wood smoke, long settled, rises subtly. A small amount is added to the palette, completing your initial selection. You pause, leaning slightly over the table, observing the chosen colors on the cool jade surface, a quiet anticipation building for the work ahead. The air in the workshop remains still, holding the quiet promise of creation. The chosen pigments rest, distinct pools of color on your jade palette, their potential yet to be realized on bark paper. You turn from the mahogany table in your artesian workshop, leaving the subtle mineral scent of the powders behind. The filtered light, still soft and even, illuminates a different corner of the room, drawing your attention to a quiet alcove where another aspect of the day's gentle rhythm awaits. The air here, in contrast to the dry earthiness of the pigments, carries a fresh, verdant perfume. An attendant, moving with practiced silence, has already placed a small, polished mahogany stand in this alcove. Upon it rests a collection of freshly cut tropical blooms, their vibrant hues a striking counterpoint to the muted tones of the workshop. You approach, feeling the air grow cooler, imbued with the damp, sweet scent of living foliage. The attendant steps back, their presence fading into the periphery, leaving you to the quiet task. Your gaze falls upon a polished pottery vessel, tall and elegant, sitting empty on the stand. It is a masterpiece of local craftsmanship, its surface a deep, burnished black, reflecting the soft light with a subtle, almost watery sheen. Your fingers trace the smooth, cool curve of its rim, feeling the expertly fired clay, its weight substantial and grounding. The vessel feels perfectly balanced, a silent invitation for the beauty it is meant to hold. You reach for the first cluster of blooms. These are heliconia, their brilliant orange and yellow bracts resembling exotic bird of paradise, still bearing faint dewdrops from the morning mist. Their stems are firm and cool in your hand, and as you gather them, a soft, papery rustle whispers through the air. The rich, green scent of their leaves is invigorating, a clean, living aroma. You carefully place them into the vessel, hearing the subtle clink as the stems touch the pottery base, followed by a gentle swish as they settle against the water already within. Next, you select delicate orchids, their petals a soft, creamy white with intricate purple markings. Each bloom is a miniature work of art, fragile yet resilient. You hold them gently, feeling the velvet-soft texture of their petals, the cool, smooth resilience of their slender stems. As you arrange them amongst the bolder heliconia, you pause, adjusting a leaf here, angling a bloom there, allowing each flower space to breathe, to express its own quiet beauty. The softest whisper of air stirs the petals, a gentle, almost silent movement. The final touch is a sprig of fragrant jasmine, tiny white stars, against dark green leaves. Its sweet, intoxicating perfume immediately fills the air around you, a delicate counterpoint to the earthier sense of the larger blooms. You tuck it carefully into the arrangement, feeling the delicate, almost weightless brush of its tiny blossoms against your fingertips. The polished black pottery now cradles a vibrant burst of color and fragrance, a living sculpture in the quiet workshop. You step back, observing the balanced composition, the way the light plays across each petal and leaf, a small, vibrant world brought into peaceful harmony. The subtle, sweet perfume of the flowers now gently pervades the air, a quiet, fragrant presence. The fragrant perfume of the freshly arranged blooms lingers on your fingertips as you gently leave the artisan workshop, stepping into a cool, shadowed corridor that promises a shift in the day's quiet rhythm. The air here, in contrast to the sweet floral notes you just left, carries a faint, dry scent of ancient plaster and settled dust. Your bare feet move silently across the smooth, worn stone floor, each step a soft, deliberate motion that echoes faintly in the enclosed space. You follow the subtle curve of the passage, feeling the cool, solid stone walls close around you for a moment, before it opens into a more expansive, yet still sheltered, space. This is your private reading alcove, a serene sanctuary carved into the upper levels of your residence, designed for contemplation and study. Here, the intense morning sun is tamed, filtered and softened by a series of strategically placed, narrow openings high on the far wall, creating a dappled, tranquil light. The air feels noticeably cooler, a refreshing breath after the increasing warmth of the day. A low, carved wooden bench, softened by a thick, woven cotton mat dyed in deep indigo, invites you to settle. You approach it slowly, your fingers brushing over the finely polished surface of the wood, feeling its cool, smooth resilience. As you sit, the mat yields gently beneath your weight, cradling you in its soft fibers. The indigo fabric feels cool and slightly textured against your skin, a comforting contact. You lean back, allowing the quiet stillness of the alcove to envelop you completely. It is then, from the deep, verdant expanse of the jungle canopy far below, that the first distant call reaches you. A low, resonant rumble, deep and primal, echoing through the humid air. It is the unmistakable sound of a howler monkey, its call a slow, deliberate declaration that drifts up, muted by distance and the thick foliage, yet still powerful enough to vibrate subtly in the air around you. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the sound to wash over you, a rhythmic, ancient song of the forest, a constant presence in the life of Tikal. You open your eyes, observing the delicate patterns of light that now fall upon the polished mahogany stand before you. On it rests a rolled scroll, its bark paper carefully prepared, secured with a slender twine of woven agave fibers. The rich, earthy scent of the old paper, mingled with the lingering, subtle sweetness of the copal resin from earlier, creates a grounding aroma. You reach out, your fingers lightly touching the smooth surface of the rolled scroll, feeling the subtle texture of the bark beneath your touch. The light catches the intricate carving on the wooden stand itself, a subtle design of repeating glyphs, each one a silent story. The howler monkey calls, now joined by a second, more distant voice, continue their slow, deep chorus, a comforting, rhythmic pulse to the morning. The quiet hum of unseen insects begins to fill the space, a soft counterpoint to the deep, resonant calls, creating a profound sense of peaceful immersion. The deep, resonant calls of the howler monkeys, a distant chorus from the jungle's heart, continue to echo softly around your shaded reading alcove, a constant, primal rhythm to the morning. Your hand, which moments ago rested lightly on the rolled bark paper scroll, now drifts towards a different object on the polished mahogany stand. Beside the scroll, nestled on a small square of finely woven cotton, lies an antique jade plaque, its presence a quiet invitation to a different kind of contemplation. You reach out, your fingers slowly approaching the ancient piece. As you lift it, the jade feels surprisingly cool and dense in your palm, its weight substantial, a testament to its age and material. The surface is incredibly smooth, polished to a soft sheen by centuries of careful handling, yet you can feel the subtle, almost imperceptible undulations of its natural stone. The plaque, a deep, rich green, holds the dappled light of the alcove, revealing slight variations in its hue, from almost translucent emerald to opaque, mossy depths. You turn the plaque gently in your hands, allowing the light to play across its meticulously carved surface. Your gaze settles on the delicate glyphs etched into the stone, their forms elegant and precise. These are not the bold, painted symbols of a freshly prepared manuscript, but rather the subtle, worn reliefs of history, each line and curve softened by the passage of time. You bring the plaque closer, your thumb beginning to trace the raised edges of a particularly intricate glyph, feeling the cool, smooth stone give way to the slight texture of the carving. The movement is slow, deliberate, each pass of your fingertip over the ancient symbols, a silent connection to the scribes who crafted these stories long before you. You feel the subtle valleys and peaks of the stone, the precise depth of each cut. One glyph depicts a stylized bird, its wing feathers rendered with an almost feathery softness under your touch. Another shows a human profile, its ceremonial headdress, a series of tiny, raised dots that you feel distinctly. The jade itself seems to hum with a quiet energy, absorbing the warmth from your skin as you explore its surface. A faint, almost imperceptible scent rises from the jade, a cool mineral earthiness that speaks of its deep origins. It mingles with the lingering, subtle aroma of copal resin and the distant, damp smell of the jungle. The howler monkeys call again, a little closer this time, their deep voices vibrating through the air. But here, in the quiet focus of your alcove, they become merely a part of the profound stillness. You continue to trace the elegant curve of a calendrical symbol, feeling the smooth, cool stone beneath your finger, each line a whisper of time. The light shifts slightly, deepening the shadows within the carved lines, making the ancient stories feel even more alive, more present. You pause, simply holding the weight of history in your hand, feeling the coolness of the jade and the subtle, rhythmic pulse of the distant jungle. You gently return the cool jade plaque to its resting place on the polished mahogany stand, its ancient stories now a quiet hum in your mind. The subtle mineral scent of the stone still lingers faintly on your fingertips. The calls of the howler monkeys, though still present, have softened to a distant, lulling rhythm from the jungle. You rise from the indigo-cushioned bench in your reading alcove, the woven cotton mats sighing almost imperceptibly as your weight lifts. The dappled light of the alcove guides you towards a more formal, expansive chamber adjacent to your personal quarters. As you pass through the wide, arched entryway, the air becomes stiller, cooler, carrying a faint, dry aroma of polished wood and aged paper, distinct from the fresh floral scents of the workshop or the earthy notes of the courtyard. This space, designed for scholarly gatherings and the examination of precious artifacts, feels imbued with a quiet reverence. In the center of the chamber, a long, low table of dark, exquisitely polished tropical hardwood gleams in the soft diffused light filtering from high windows. Upon its smooth surface rests a new acquisition, a painted codex, tightly rolled and secured with slender bindings of woven agave fiber. Two trusted attendants stand quietly nearby, their posture attentive, their movements hushed. Their presence is a comforting assurance of care and precision. You approach the table, your bare feet making no sound on the cool, dark stone floor. The subtle scent of the aged codex, a complex aroma of dried bark paper, mineral pigments, and perhaps a trace of ancient beeswax, grows stronger with each step. You pause, standing before the rolled manuscript, observing its humble, unassuming exterior. The tightly wound form holds centuries of knowledge, waiting. With a gentle nod, you signal to one attendant. Their hands, moving with practiced slowness, carefully untie the delicate agave bindings. You hear the soft, dry whisper of the fibers as the knots are loosened, a barely audible sound that seems to fill the quiet chamber. The bindings are then meticulously coiled and placed to the side, their task complete. The codex, now unbound, remains tightly rolled, its secrets still held close. The second attendant then carefully positions themselves at one end of the rolled codex, while the first takes the other. With synchronized, deliberate movements, they begin the slow process of unrolling the delicate bark paper. You hear the soft, almost hushed, sigh as the first segment of the codex unfurls, revealing its painted inner surface to the light. The bark paper, surprisingly supple yet resilient, resists just slightly, then yields with a gentle, continuous rustle. A section of vibrant glyphs and figures slowly comes into view, painted in the familiar Maya blue, earthy reds, and lustrous black pigments you selected earlier in your workshop. The colors, though ancient, retain a remarkable depth and clarity, a testament to the artisans who prepared them. Your eyes trace the precise brushstrokes, noticing the subtle texture where the pigment sits delicately on the smooth bark surface. Each revealed panel is a window into a past narrative, unfolding with quiet grace. The unrolling continues, a steady, rhythmic revelation of ancient knowledge, the soft rustle of paper a constant, soothing accompaniment. The chamber remains still, holding the quiet unfolding of history. The vibrant painted glyphs of the newly unrolled codex now rest, fully displayed, on the polished hardwood table, their ancient stories quietly revealed. The two attendants, having completed their careful task, have silently withdrawn, leaving you alone in the scholarly chamber. The light, though still soft, has subtly intensified, hinting at the increasing warmth of the midday sun outside. A gentle, almost imperceptible shift in the air signals a transition in the day's rhythm, an invitation to seek respite from the growing heat. You turn from the table, leaving the rich scent of aged bark paper and mineral pigments to linger in the quiet room. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, dark stone floor, guiding you towards a secluded passage. This corridor, narrower and more intimately carved than the previous ones, leads you deeper into the private heart of your residence. The air here grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, refreshing scent of damp stone and lush greenery, a promise of what lies ahead. The passage opens into a sun-dappled, entirely private bathing area. Here, the midday light filters through a canopy of broad-leafed plants and intricately carved stone latticework, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow across the smooth, polished basin of your personal pool. The air is immediately fresh, imbued with the clean, mineral scent of cool water and the sweet, green fragrance of surrounding tropical ferns. The distant sounds of the city are almost entirely muted here, replaced by the soft, rhythmic trickle of water from a small, concealed overflow. You approach the edge of the pool, feeling the smooth, cool stone of its rim beneath your fingertips. The water within is a deep, clear emerald green, reflecting the filtered light from above. You can see the smooth, finely carved stone of the pool's bottom, perfectly clean, a testament to its meticulous upkeep. The surface of the water is utterly still, save for the faintest, almost imperceptible ripples from the hidden overflow, a gentle, liquid whisper. With a slow, deliberate movement, you step into the cool embrace of the water. The initial touch is a gentle shock, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the air, sending a soft shiver through your skin. The water rises around your ankles, then your calves, each inch a slow, smooth caress. You feel the cool, silky texture of the water as it envelops your legs, then your torso, the sensation of weightlessness beginning to settle over you. A soft, barely audible swish accompanies your entry, the only sound breaking the serene stillness. You submerge yourself fully, allowing the cool water to close over your shoulders. The sensation is one of profound release, the weight of the day's contemplation lifting. You float gently, feeling the cool water support your body, a soft, constant pressure against your skin. The only sounds now are the subtle, rhythmic trickling of the overflow and the faint, distant hum of the jungle, softened to a murmur. You close your eyes, simply allowing the cool embrace of the water to wash over you, feeling the gentle currents, the profound sense of calm. The midday sun, filtered and softened, warms the air above, while the water cradles you in its refreshing depths. The cool, silken embrace of the water gently releases its hold as you slowly lift yourself from the private bathing pool. Tiny droplets cling to your skin, glistening in the filtered midday light that dances across the polished stone. The air, though still warm and humid, feels refreshing against your damp skin, causing a subtle shiver of transition. You stand for a moment at the pool's edge, feeling the smooth, cool stone beneath your bare feet, before stepping onto a waiting mat of finely woven reeds. An attendant, moving with quiet efficiency, approaches with a large, soft cloth of unbleached cotton. You take it, feeling its dry, comforting texture against your fingertips. With unhurried movements, you begin to pat your skin dry, starting with your arms, feeling the gentle friction of the fabric absorbing the cool moisture. Each light press of the cloth against your skin is a soft, almost soundless action, a mindful moment of transition. You feel the subtle warmth return to your skin as the last traces of water vanish, leaving a fresh, clean sensation. You then move from the secluded bathing area through a short, cool passage and into a more open, yet still shaded, loggia. This elevated space overlooks a quieter, less frequented part of the residential compound. Here the air is stirred by a gentle, consistent breeze that carries a faint, earthy scent of sun-warmed plaster and distant, blooming jungle flora. The dappled sunlight from the mid-afternoon filters through a series of wooden screens, painting soft, shifting patterns across the smooth, light-colored floor. As you settle onto a low, intricately carved wooden bench, softened by a thick, hand-woven cushion of natural fibers, a new sound begins to emerge from the periphery of your awareness. It is a distant, rhythmic thumbscrape, thumped botch, a steady, almost hypnotic sound. You recognize it immediately. the grinding of maize on a metate stone. A familiar, comforting rhythm that signals the preparation of the afternoon repast. The sound is not intrusive, merely present, a deep, consistent pulse from somewhere within the larger compound, softened by distance and the thick stone walls. You lean back against the cushion, feeling its firm yet yielding support, the subtle texture of the woven fibers against your back. The rhythmic grinding continues, a slow, deliberate cadence. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the sound to wash over you, blending with the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze and the faint, high-pitched hum of unseen insects. With each thump scrape you can almost visualize the smooth, dark river stone pressing down, slowly pulverizing the kernels into a fine, soft flour. A subtle, comforting aroma of warm, freshly milled maize begins to drift on the air, carried by the same gentle breeze, a faint promise of sustenance. The world outside the loggia feels far away, replaced by the quiet, rhythmic sounds of home and the anticipation of the coming meal. You simply rest, letting the steady rhythm settle deep within you. The rhythmic thump scrape of maize grinding, which has been a soft, steady pulse in the midday air, begins to gently recede as you rise from the cushioned bench in the shaded loggia. The subtle aroma of warm milled corn still lingers faintly, a comforting memory. You turn, your bare feet making barely a sound on the cool, light-colored stone floor, and move towards a deeper, more secluded part of your residence. You step into a cool, quiet corridor, the air here still and dry, carrying a faint, ancient scent of polished stone and perhaps a whisper of old paper. The light softens considerably, filtered by thick, unadorned walls, creating a sense of profound calm. Your steps are unhurried, deliberate, as you follow the gentle curve of the passage, feeling the consistent coolness of the air against your skin. This path leads you directly into your private study, a chamber designed for quiet reflection and the absorption of knowledge. In your study, the light is subdued, diffused through high, narrow apertures, casting an even, tranquil glow. The air is still, holding a faint, earthy fragrance of dried herbs, and the subtle, sweet scent of beeswax from the polished wooden shelves that line one wall. On the far wall, a large, intricately woven cotton tapestry hangs, its rich indigo and cochineal red patterns absorbing the soft, ambient light. It is a masterpiece of local artistry, depicting a complex narrative of calendrical cycles and ancestral figures through abstract forms. You approach the tapestry, your gaze drawn immediately to its detailed surface. You step closer, your fingertips lightly brushing against the woven fabric, feeling the firm yet soft texture of the cotton threads. The dyes, rich and deep, feel cool and smooth under your touch, the result of countless hours of patient weaving. You begin to trace the deliberate path of each thread, noticing the slight variations in thickness, the subtle shifts in hue where the natural dyes meet and blend. Your eyes settle on a particular section, where stylized glyphs and geometric forms interlace, telling a silent story. One shape, rendered in a deep earthy green, seems to represent a sprouting maize stalk, its delicate lines woven with remarkable precision. Beside it, a series of interlocking red and blue squares suggests the cycle of days, the passage of time. You run your hand slowly over these patterns, feeling the subtle raised texture of the woven design, the quiet artistry embedded in each stitch. The faint, almost imperceptible rustle of your tunic against the fabric is the only sound in the deep quiet. You pause, allowing your mind to simply absorb the intricate symbolism, not analyzing, but rather meditating on the interconnectedness of the patterns. The craftsmanship speaks of devotion and skill, each knot and color a deliberate choice. The air in the study feels still, holding the weight of these ancient narratives. You take a slow, deep breath, the subtle scent of cotton and beeswax grounding you in the moment. The tapestry, with its interwoven stories, seems to breathe with a quiet wisdom, inviting your mind to simply rest in its silent, intricate beauty. The intricate patterns of the woven tapestry, which held your quiet contemplation in the study, now begin to fade from your immediate focus as the afternoon light outside intensifies, drawing you gently towards a new activity. You turn from the wall, leaving the subtle scent of cotton and beeswax behind, and step from the subdued light of your study into a short, wide hallway. Here, the air feels slightly warmer, carrying a faint, dry aroma of sun-baked stone and distant, blooming frangipani. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, smooth plaster floor, each step unhurried. The hallway opens onto a private, open-air terrace, positioned high within your residence, where the afternoon sun bathes the space in a soft, golden glow. A gentle, consistent breeze drifts across the terrace, carrying with it the faint, sweet scent of copal resin, perhaps burning in a distant shrine, and the distant, rhythmic chirping of cicadas. You move towards a low, polished obsidian table, its dark, reflective surface cool to the touch even in the warmth of the sun. Upon it rests a small, intricately carved cedar box. You reach for the cedar box, its smooth, dark wood feeling warm beneath your fingertips. The delicate carvings of water glyphs and fish scales across its lid are subtle, worn smooth by generations of handling. You lift the lid slowly, the well-fitted wood creating a soft, almost soundless clunk as it separates from the base. A faint, sweet woody aroma, mingled with the clean, briny scent of the ocean, rises from within. Inside, nestled on a bed of soft, dried agave fibers, lies your collection of carved shell ornaments. Your fingers sift gently through the cool, smooth shells, each one a unique treasure. You select a particularly exquisite piece, a large, iridescent conch shell fragment, expertly carved into the form of a subtle, stylized jaguar head. Its surface, a pearly white with soft pink and gold undertones, feels incredibly smooth and cool against your skin. You can feel the delicate, raised lines of the carving, the smooth curve of the jaguar's ear, the subtle indentation of its eye. Beside the cedar box, an attendant has already placed a small, shallow bowl of fine, clean beach sand, mixed with a tiny amount of water, creating a soft, abrasive paste. Next to it, a square of supple, well-worn deerskin leather lies waiting, its surface soft and slightly oily to the touch. You dip a corner of the deerskin into the paste, feeling the fine grit between your fingers, a delicate, almost imperceptible texture. With gentle, circular motions, you begin to polish the carved shell. The soft, rhythmic whisper scrape of the deerskin and sand against the shell is barely audible, a soothing, repetitive sound. You feel the cool, hard surface of the shell slowly warming under your touch, its natural luster gradually deepening. The light catches the subtle iridescence as you work, bringing out hidden flashes of pearl and soft blues within the creamy white. You move your fingers carefully over the delicate carvings, ensuring each intricate line and curve is reached, feeling the smooth stone respond to your patient touch. The afternoon sun warms your back, a comforting weight, as you continue the slow, deliberate work. The air feels still, holding the soft, rhythmic sounds and the faint, clean scent of the shell, as its ancient beauty slowly emerges anew. The cool, iridescent gleam of the newly polished shell catches the afternoon sun for a final moment in your hand. Its ancient beauty now fully restored. You gently place it back into the cedar box on the obsidian table, hearing the faint clink as it settles amongst its companions. The soft, dry warmth of the deerskin polishing cloth still lingers on your fingertips, a subtle memory of the patient work. The afternoon sun, though still bright, has begun its slow descent, its rays softening, painting the private terrace in a gentler, more golden hue. You rise from the low, obsidian table, leaving the faint, clean scent of polished shell and fine sand behind. Your bare feet glide silently across the warm, smooth stone of the terrace, moving towards a wide, arched opening that leads to a different, more open space. The air here feels a little lighter, stirred by a consistent, gentle current. You pass through the archway, feeling the slight shift in temperature, the coolness of the deep stone giving way to the open air. You step onto your private veranda, an elevated, expansive space that seems to float above the dense, green canopy of the surrounding jungle. Here the light is particularly soft and diffuse, filtered by the sheer breadth of the sky and the distant, towering trees. A long, low bench of highly polished dark wood, softened by a thick, finely woven mat of natural cotton fibers in a calming, earthy brown, spans one length of the veranda. You approach it slowly, feeling the slight vibration of the floor underfoot from the distant, unseen life of the forest. You settle onto the mat, feeling its firm yet yielding support, the subtle, dry texture of the woven cotton against your skin. The polished wood of the bench feels cool and smooth beneath your hands as you rest them on its surface. As you lean back, allowing your weight to fully sink into the cushion, a gentle breeze, soft and continuous, drifts across the veranda. It carries with it the clean, damp scent of distant rain mingled with the earthy fragrance of the jungle. It is then that the soft, rhythmic rustle of palm fronds begins. The breeze catches the broad, fanned leaves of the numerous palm trees that grow just beyond the edge of your veranda, creating a continuous, whispering sound. It is a dry, papery whisper, a gentle som chasse that rises and falls with the invisible currents of the air. You watch as the large, green fronds sway with a slow, graceful motion, their shadows dancing and shifting across the smooth, light-colored plaster of the veranda floor. Each movement is unhurried, a natural, ancient rhythm. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle sound wash over you, feeling the soft, cool breath of the breeze on your skin. The air hums with the faint, high-pitched song of unseen insects, a subtle counterpoint to the rustling fronds. The combined sensations create a profound sense of peaceful immersion, a feeling of being utterly connected to the vast, living world around you, yet perfectly sheltered within your elevated sanctuary. The rhythmic whisper of the palm fronds continues, a constant, lulling presence, inviting your thoughts to drift and soften with each gentle sway. The light continues to soften, painting the world in ever deeper, more tranquil hues. The soft, rhythmic rustle of palm fronds, which has been a gentle companion on your veranda, now begins to quiet as the afternoon light deepens, painting the vast jungle canopy in richer, more subdued hues. The subtle, damp scent of distant rain, carried on the breeze, still lingers in the air, but a new coolness begins to assert itself as the sun dips lower. You rise slowly from the comfortable woven mat, the natural fibers yielding with a soft sigh beneath your weight, and turn towards a different path. Your bare feet find the familiar cool, smooth stone of a narrow, upward-sloping passage. Each step is deliberate, unhurried as you ascend, feeling the ancient, solid strength of the structure beneath your soles. The air within this enclosed space is dry and still, carrying only the faint, mineral scent of aged stone. The passage opens onto a high, open-air platform, a dedicated observatory carved into the uppermost levels of your residence. Here, the sky stretches out in an immense, uninterrupted expanse above you. The light on the platform is now a soft, ethereal gold, the direct heat of the day having mellowed into a gentle warmth that still radiates from the sun-baked stone underfoot. A low, polished obsidian bench, its surface cool and dark, awaits your presence. You approach it, your fingers lightly tracing the smooth, cool curve of its edge before you settle down, feeling its solid, grounding weight beneath you. The woven mat of soft, unbleached cotton that cushions the bench feels familiar and comforting against your skin. You lean back, allowing your gaze to drift upwards, taking in the slow, magnificent transition of the sky. The deep cerulean of midday is softening into gradients of violet and rose at the western horizon, while overhead, the first faint pinpricks of light begin to emerge from the deepening azure. The air here, at this elevated height, feels remarkably clear, carrying only the faintest, most distant hum of the jungle below, a soft, almost imperceptible breath of the vast world. Your eyes, accustomed to discerning patterns, begin their quiet work. You focus on the slow, stately movement of a familiar star group, just now becoming visible as the light fades. You trace the imagined lines between them, mentally aligning them with the intricate calendrical observations meticulously recorded in your bark paper codices. The profound silence of the vast sky seems to press in around you, broken only by the occasional, soft chirp of a high-flying night bird, a delicate sound that emphasizes the immense stillness. You close your eyes for a moment, absorbing the coolness of the obsidian bench through the thin cotton, feeling the gentle, almost imperceptible shift in the air as day truly gives way to evening. The subtle, earthy scent of the stone beneath you mingles with the clean, expansive aroma of the open sky. You open your eyes again, watching as more stars slowly emerge, their distant, steady light, a silent, ancient language. The world feels immense, yet profoundly peaceful, as the celestial dance unfolds above, a slow, mesmerizing rhythm. The cool, vast expanse of the night sky, which moments ago held your gaze from the open-air platform, now deepens to an inky black as the last vestiges of twilight fade completely. The distant, steady lights of the stars, which you had been observing with quiet focus, seem to intensify against the velvet backdrop. A subtle, crisp coolness descends with the full arrival of night, raising a faint shiver on your skin, a gentle reminder of the day's end. You rise slowly from the obsidian bench, the woven cotton mat sighing almost imperceptibly as you shift your weight. Your bare feet find the cool, smooth stone of the platform, and you turn towards a small, almost hidden doorway carved into the thick wall. This passage is narrower and darker than the others, leading away from the open sky and deeper into the quiet heart of your residence. Each step is deliberate, silent, as you move through the enclosed space, feeling the cool, solid stone close around you. The passage opens into your most private offering space, a small, intimate chamber carved directly into the bedrock of the structure. Here, the air is still and heavy, imbued with the ancient scent of dried earth and aged stone. No direct light enters, only the soft, flickering glow of a single ceramic oil lamp placed on a low, polished stone altar in the center of the room. Its warm amber light casts long, dancing shadows across the smooth, unadorned walls, creating a profound sense of sanctuary. You approach the altar, your bare feet making no sound on the cool, dark floor. On its surface, beside the gently flickering lamp, rests a small, unglazed clay censer, its porous surface absorbing the lamp's warmth. Within the censer, a small pile of dried copal resin, crystalline and pale, awaits its purpose. You reach for a slender sliver of cedar wood, already glowing faintly at its tip from a nearby, unseen hearth, its ember a tiny, pulsing red eye in the dim light. With careful, unhurried movements, you bring the glowing cedar sliver to the copal resin. A soft, barely audible hiss escapes as the resin begins to warm. Then a faint, delicate plume of white smoke curls upwards, thin and ethereal at first. Almost immediately, a sweet, earthy, slightly pine-like aroma begins to unfold, rising from the censer. The scent is pure and ancient, a familiar comfort that has permeated these sacred spaces for generations. The smoke thickens, slowly expanding to fill the quiet chamber, becoming a visible, tangible presence in the lamp's flickering light. It drifts lazily, swirling and softening the edges of the shadows, creating a tranquil, hazy atmosphere. You close your eyes, inhaling deeply, allowing the pure, cleansing aroma of the copal to settle within you, a gentle balm for the mind. It is a scent that speaks of connection, of reverence, of the deep, unseen currents that flow through the world. The air grows heavy, with the fragrant smoke, a soft, enveloping blanket of peace. You stand, simply breathing, letting the quiet reverence of the moment wash over you, preparing for the deeper rest of the night. The rich, sweet scent of copal incense, still heavy and enveloping in the air, gently guides you from the quiet of your private offering space. The soft amber glow of the ceramic oil lamp, which illuminated your reverence, now casts long, swaying shadows behind you as you step into a cool, almost dark passage. The smooth, ancient stone beneath your bare feet feels silent, each step a deliberate, unhurried motion through the stillness of the night. You follow the subtle curve of the passage, feeling the consistent coolness of the dry air against your skin, before it opens into a dedicated study chamber. Here, the light is soft and even, provided by several smaller, exquisitely crafted obsidian lamps, their gentle flames casting a warm, steady glow across the room. The air carries a faint, dry aroma of polished cedar wood and aged bark paper, a familiar and comforting scent that speaks of deep knowledge. In the center of the chamber, a low, polished mahogany table awaits, its dark surface reflecting the lamplight with a soft sheen. You approach it, your gaze settling on a collection of carefully stacked bark paper scrolls and a small, smoothed limestone tablet. These are the tools of your nightly ritual, the precise calculations for the next ceremonial date, meticulously recorded and preserved. You settle onto a thick, woven cotton mat, dyed in a deep, calming earth tone, feeling its firm yet yielding support beneath you. You reach for the top scroll, its tightly wound form feeling cool and surprisingly light in your hands. With slow, practiced movements, you untie the slender agave fibers that secure it, hearing the faint, dry whisper as the knots loosen. The scroll unfurls with a soft, continuous rustle, revealing columns of intricate glyphs and precise numerical notations, painted in the familiar Maya blue and lustrous black pigments. The bark paper itself feels smooth, almost silky, under your fingertips, yet subtly textured where the ancient pigments have settled. Your eyes begin to trace the delicate lines and curves of the calendrical glyphs, each symbol a representation of time, of celestial movement, of sacred cycles. You follow the sequence of numbers, mentally verifying the intricate calculations for the coming ceremonial date, a crucial task for the balance of the world. The lamplight catches the subtle sheen of the black pigment, making the numbers appear to almost float on the pale surface of the paper. You pause, allowing your mind to simply absorb the quiet rhythm of the ancient count, the profound order embedded in each carefully drawn symbol. The chamber is utterly still, save for the faintest, almost imperceptible flicker of the lamp flames, and the distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant, lulling presence in the deep night. You lean slightly closer to the scroll, feeling the subtle warmth emanating from the nearest obsidian lamp, its light a steady, reassuring companion. The subtle scent of aged paper and lamp oil creates a grounding atmosphere. You simply remain, lost in the quiet contemplation of the numbers, the ancient rhythm of time unfolding gently before you, inviting a profound sense of peaceful order. The precise calendrical glyphs and numerical notations which held your quiet focus moments ago now seem to gently recede from the forefront of your mind. You slowly roll the bark paper scroll, its surface feeling smooth and cool as it coils, and carefully tie it with its slender agave fibers, hearing the faint, dry whisper of the binding. The soft, even glow of the obsidian lamps in your study chamber remains a steady, warm presence, casting long, peaceful shadows across the polished, mahogany table. The lingering, earthy scent of copal incense, a subtle memory from your private offering space, still softly permeates the air, mingling with the dry aroma of aged paper. You shift your position on the woven cotton mat, feeling its familiar, firm texture beneath you, and turn your attention to a different section of the expansive table. Here, the surface of the dark, polished mahogany seems to hold a faint, almost ethereal glow. As your eyes adjust, you begin to discern a delicate, almost imperceptible dusting across the wood, a subtle shimmer of mica dust, left perhaps from a previous meticulous work. It catches the lamplight in tiny sparkling points, like captured starlight. You lean slightly closer, your gaze drawn to the way the mica particles reflect the warm amber light, creating a soft, shifting luminescence. Your fingertips hover just above the table, not quite touching, yet feeling the subtle coolness emanating from the polished wood. The mica dust, incredibly fine and delicate, seems to float just above the surface, a testament to its lightness. It's a gentle, almost magical sight, a quiet beauty in the subdued light of the chamber. You reach for a small, exquisitely carved wooden brush, its bristles made from fine, soft bird feathers, resting on a nearby reed mat. The wood of the handle feels smooth and cool in your hand, its grain worn soft by years of use. With slow, deliberate movements, you gently brush the surface of the table, guiding the mica dust into a more concentrated area. You hear the faintest, almost inaudible swish of the soft bristles against the smooth mahogany, a delicate, repetitive sound that accompanies the subtle gathering of the shimmering particles. As you sweep, the mica gathers, forming a small, luminous pile, its collective sparkle intensifying under the lamplight. You notice the way the light seems to be absorbed, and then gently re-emitted by the tiny flakes, creating a deeper, more profound glow. The air around you remains still, carrying only the faint scent of aged wood and the distant, muted hum of the jungle. A constant, lulling presence in the deep night. You pause, simply observing the concentrated shimmer, the quiet beauty of the gathered dust, feeling the cool, smooth wood beneath your resting hand. The soft, rhythmic sound of the brush has ceased, leaving only the profound stillness of the chamber, illuminated by the gentle, unwavering light of the obsidian lamps and the subtle, sparkling presence of the mica. The subtle shimmer of mica dust, which moments ago danced on your polished mahogany table under the soft lamplight, now begins to fade from your focus. You gently place the small, feather-bristled brush back onto its reed mat, leaving the concentrated sparkle of the mica to rest undisturbed. The air in your study chamber remains still, holding the faint, dry aroma of aged paper and polished wood, a calm companion in the deep night. A sense of quiet anticipation, not of urgency, but of gentle purpose, begins to stir within you. You rise slowly from the woven cotton mat, its fibers yielding with a soft, almost imperceptible sigh. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, dark stone floor, guiding you towards a recessed alcove along one wall. Here, concealed behind a panel of intricately carved cedar wood, lies your guarded collection of precious feathers. The wood of the panel feels cool and smooth beneath your fingertips as you press gently, and with a faint, soft click, it slowly pivots inward, revealing a hidden compartment. A wave of dry, earthy scent, mingled with a subtle, musky sweetness, greets you from within the compartment. The light from the obsidian lamps in the study spills into the opening, illuminating an array of small, lacquered wooden boxes, stacked with meticulous care. You reach for one, its dark, polished surface feeling cool and smooth in your hands. The wood is exceptionally fine, its grain almost invisible beneath the deep, lustrous finish. You lift it carefully, feeling its balanced weight, and bring it to the mahogany table. You place the lacquered box onto the table with a soft, deliberate notice, a sound muffled by the thick cotton mat beneath it. With unhurried movements, you gently lift the lid. A soft, dry sigh of displaced air escapes, and the interior is revealed. A treasury of feathers, each one a jewel of the jungle. They lie nestled on a bed of fine, dark silk, arranged by color and size, a vibrant spectrum against the deep, soft fabric. Your gaze sweeps across the collection. You see the brilliant, iridescent green gold of quetzal plumes, impossibly long and delicate, shimmering even in the subdued lamplight. Beside them, the deep, rich blues of cotinga feathers, like fragments of the midnight sky, and the fiery oranges and reds of macaw feathers, still holding the warmth of the sun in their hue. You reach out, your fingers hovering for a moment before gently selecting a single quetzal feather. Its delicate quill is surprisingly firm between your fingertips, yet the barbs are exquisitely soft, almost weightless. You feel the subtle, velvety texture of the feather as you turn it, admiring the way the light catches its metallic sheen, shifting from emerald to sapphire with the slightest movement. A faint, dry rustle accompanies your touch, a whisper of air against the delicate structure. You carefully lay it on a clean section of the table, then select another, its color a slightly different shade of green, placing it beside the first. This slow, deliberate process of selection continues, each feather chosen with quiet reverence, a silent preparation for the new mosaic that will soon take form, guided by the soft, unwavering light of the obsidian lamps. The distant hum of the jungle has softened to an almost imperceptible breath, a constant, tranquil presence. The carefully selected quetzal feathers, their iridescent green-gold hues shimmering under the soft obsidian lamplight, now rest in quiet anticipation on your polished mahogany table. You gently close the lacquered wooden box, its lid settling with a soft, precise tessirua against the silk lining, securing the remaining precious plumes. The air in your study chamber, still holding the faint, dry aroma of aged paper and polished wood, feels profoundly calm. The deep night has fully settled outside, yet a subtle shift in the atmosphere within your residence begins to draw your attention away from your work. You rise slowly from the woven cotton mat, feeling its firm yet yielding texture beneath you for a final moment. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, dark stone floor, guiding you towards a wide, open archway at the far end of the study. As you approach, the air begins to feel subtly cooler, carrying a different quality than the still warmth of the inner chamber. It is a gentle invitation to step into the embrace of the evening. Passing through the archway, you find yourself in a spacious, open-sided gallery that overlooks a secluded garden courtyard. Here, the last vestiges of twilight have completely faded, and the sky above is a deep, velvety indigo, beginning to prickle with the first faint stars. The air is noticeably fresh, carrying the damp, rich scent of earth and the sweet perfume of night-blooming jasmine, distinct from the dry aromas of your study. The distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant presence, now seems to deepen and intensify. It is then, from the dense foliage just beyond the garden walls, that the faint, melodious chirping of cicadas begins to rise. It is not a sudden burst, but a slow, deliberate chorus, a gentle asterisk, CHRR, CHRR, CHRR asterisk, that weaves itself into the fabric of the evening air. The sound is subtle at first, a delicate, high-pitched rhythm that seems to pulse and expand with each passing moment. You lean gently against the smooth, cool stone of a low parapet, feeling its ancient, solid weight beneath your hands. Your gaze drifts across the garden below, where the deepening shadows obscure the vibrant colors of the day, leaving only the dark, rich silhouettes of the tropical plants. The cicada chirping grows slightly stronger, a continuous, intricate symphony that seems to come from every direction, yet remains distant and non-intrusive. It is a lulling, hypnotic sound, a natural lullaby of the jungle night. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the delicate, rhythmic chirping to wash over you, feeling the cool, soft breath of the evening breeze on your skin. The air feels still, yet alive, with these minute sounds, each tiny vibration a part of the vast, unseen network of life around Tikal. You open your eyes again, watching the subtle sway of a large fern in the breeze, its movement almost imperceptible in the deepening darkness. The continuous, gentle melody of the cicadas fills the space, a profound, calming presence that invites a deep sense of peace and stillness as the night fully settles. The soft, rhythmic chirping of the cicadas, a constant companion in the deep night, begins to gently recede as you turn from the open-sided gallery. A subtle coolness in the air, a shift from the evening breeze, signals a deeper embrace of the night. You step through a shadowed archway, your bare feet silent on the cool stone, and into a more enclosed passage within your residence. The air here is still, holding a faint, dry scent of ancient plaster and settled dust, a quiet contrast to the humid garden outside. An attendant, moving with practiced grace, appears from a deeper recess, holding a tall, slender torch. Its flame, a soft, warm orange, casts long, dancing shadows ahead of them, illuminating the intricate carvings on the plaster walls as you walk. The faint, subtle scent of burning resin and dried wood from the torch mingles with the dry air, a grounding, ancient perfume. You follow their gentle lead, each step unhurried, your senses attuned to the subtle shifts in light and shadow. The passage eventually widens, leading into a grander, yet still private, antechamber. Here, embedded above a ceremonial doorway, stands an ancient, intricately carved wooden lintel. Its dark, dense wood, likely zapote, has been polished and preserved through centuries, its surface gleaming faintly, even in the subdued light. The attendant raises the torch slightly, allowing its soft glow to settle directly upon the lintel, bringing its hidden details into sharp, yet gentle, relief. You approach the doorway, your gaze fixed on the lintel, the torchlight, moving with a subtle, almost imperceptible flicker, seems to breathe life into the carved forms. You notice the precise, deep cuts that define the stylized figures of a long-dead ruler, his ceremonial headdress rendered with astonishing detail. The surface of the wood, though smooth to the eye, reveals a subtle, almost imperceptible texture under the dancing light, where the grain rises and falls around the ancient carvings. Each shadow deepens and softens with a slight movement of the flame, making the figures seem to shift and breathe. You reach out, your fingertips slowly approaching the ancient wood. The surface feels cool yet faintly resonant with the day's absorbed heat. Your index finger begins to trace the intricate patterns of a calendrical glyph, a small, square block of symbols carved into the wood. You feel the smooth, rounded edges of the raised carvings, the subtle valleys where the tools once cut away the material, the delicate lines of a bird's beak, the curve of an eye, the tiny, precise dots that represent numbers. Each detail is slowly revealed beneath your careful touch. The faint, dry scent of ancient wood, warmed by the torch, rises gently, mingling with the subtle aroma of the burning resin. You pause, your finger resting on a particularly worn section of the carving, a place where generations of hands have also touched this same wood. The soft rhythmic crackle of the torch flame is the only sound, a gentle counterpoint to the profound stillness of the chamber. The intricate stories etched into the wood seem to whisper their narratives in the soft glow, inviting a deep, unhurried contemplation. The warmth of the torchlight falls gently on your face, a comforting presence in the quiet night, as you stand immersed in the ancient history held within the carved lintel. The soft, flickering glow of the torch, which moments ago illuminated the intricate details of the carved lintel, now begins to recede as your attendant gently lowers it. A subtle shift in the air, from the dry warmth of the wood to the cool, still breath of the deeper night, signals a change in your quiet contemplation. You turn from the ancient doorway, your bare feet silent on the smooth, dark stone floor, and follow the attendant into a narrow, unlit passage. The passage winds through the solid structure, its cool, smooth walls enclosing you in profound stillness. The faint, earthy scent of ancient stone deepens here, mingling with the last, subtle traces of copal resin from earlier offerings. You emerge into a small, dedicated gallery, specifically designed for the display and care of your most treasured ceramic pieces. Here, the light is dim, provided by a single, carefully positioned oil lamp, its gentle amber glow reflecting softly off the polished surfaces of the surrounding walls. Along one side of the gallery, a long, low shelf of finely cut and polished limestone stretches, its cool, pale surface waiting. Upon it, several rare ceramic vessels, each a masterpiece of form and color, sit in quiet repose. You approach the shelf slowly, your gaze sweeping over the collection. There are tall, elegant cylinders painted with intricate glyphs, wide, shallow bowls adorned with delicate patterns, and smaller, exquisitely shaped effigy jars, each holding its own silent history. The air around them feels still, holding a faint, clean, earthy scent of fired clay, subtle, yet distinct. You reach for a particular vessel, a deep, burnished black tripod plate, its surface incredibly smooth, almost like polished obsidian, catching the lamplight in a soft, diffused gleam. Your fingers close around its cool, substantial weight, feeling the finely textured clay beneath the dark, lustrous glaze. The three small, hollow legs of the plate feel solid and balanced in your grasp. You gently lift it from its current resting place, hearing the faintest, almost imperceptible scrape as its base leaves the old, woven reed mat it rested upon, a soft sound that barely disturbs the quiet. An attendant, moving with barely a whisper, has already laid a fresh, soft square of unbleached cotton onto a cleared section of the stone shelf. The fabric, cool and dry, feels subtly textured under your palm as you briefly touch it. With slow, deliberate movements, you position the black tripod plate onto the center of the cotton square. You hear a soft, muffled thud as the vessel settles, the thick cotton absorbing any harsh sound, ensuring its safe and quiet placement. You adjust its angle slightly, your fingers tracing the cool curve of its rim, allowing the lamplight to catch the subtle sheen of its glaze, highlighting the delicate incised patterns that encircle its edge. You pause, your hands resting gently on the cool stone shelf, observing the newly placed vessel. The deep black form, so solid and elegant, contrasts beautifully with the pale limestone and the soft, neutral cotton. You then reach for another vessel, a smaller, intricately painted chocolate pot, its surface a rich, earthy red, with delicate white and blue glyphs depicting a ceremonial scene. Its smooth, cool handle is a perfect curve, expertly formed for holding. You lift it with the same careful reverence, feeling its lighter, yet still satisfying weight in your hand, the painted details smooth beneath your thumb. You place this second vessel beside the first, leaving a precise, measured space between them on the cotton square. The soft clink of the pottery against the cotton is barely audible, a gentle whisper in the quiet chamber. The lamplight now illuminates both pieces, their distinct forms and colors creating a harmonious composition on the smooth stone. The rare ceramic vessels, now carefully arranged on the low stone shelf in the dim, lamplit gallery, seem to hum with a quiet, ancient energy. Their smooth, cool surfaces gleam softly in the gentle, amber glow. You take a slow, deep breath, the faint, clean scent of fired clay settling comfortably in the still air. The deep night has fully descended, bringing with it a subtle, crisp coolness that hints at the coming hours of profound rest. You turn from the gallery, leaving the silent collection behind, and step into a narrow, upward-sloping passage. Your bare feet find the cool, smooth stone of the floor. Each step a deliberate, unhurried motion as you ascend through the ancient structure. The air here is dry and still, carrying only the faint mineral scent of aged stone. The passage opens into your elevated sleeping chamber, the same one where the morning sun first touched your arm, now transformed by the quiet embrace of night. Here, the room is bathed in the soft, diffused light of a single small obsidian lamp, its flame barely flickering, casting gentle, swaying shadows across the familiar walls. The air is warm and still, holding a faint, comforting aroma of dried herbs and the subtle, sweet scent of beeswax from the polished wooden beams overhead. You move towards your sleeping platform, its finely woven cotton mat and soft jaguar hide inviting a deep rest. Beside the platform, draped over a low, polished cedar chest, lies your finely woven cotton cloak. It is a garment of exceptional quality, its fibers dyed a deep, rich indigo, almost black in the dim light, with subtle patterns woven into its fabric. You reach for it, your fingers brushing against the cool, soft texture of the cotton. The fabric feels substantial, yet surprisingly supple, a testament to the skill of the weavers who crafted it. You lift the cloak, feeling its comforting weight as it drapes over your arms. The cool, smooth cotton slides across your skin with a soft, almost inaudible swish. You draw it around your shoulders, allowing the heavy fabric to settle, enveloping you in its gentle embrace. The soft, familiar texture of the cotton presses against your skin, providing a sense of security and warmth against the subtle coolness of the night air. The deep, indigo color seems to absorb the lamplight, creating a cocoon of soft shadow around you. The weight of the cloak is profoundly comforting, a gentle pressure that helps to ground you in the quiet stillness of the chamber. You adjust it slightly, feeling the soft, dry rustle of the fabric as it settles perfectly around your form. The faint, subtle scent of dried herbs and the natural fibers rises from the cloth, a clean, earthy aroma that blends with the gentle warmth of the lamplit air. You pause, simply standing, allowing the familiar weight and soft texture of the cloak to settle deep within you, a silent preparation for the coming rest. The distant, muted hum of the jungle has softened to an almost imperceptible breath, a constant, tranquil presence in the deep night, as you feel the comforting embrace of the finely woven cotton. The comforting weight of your finely woven cotton cloak, which moments ago settled around your shoulders, now feels like a familiar embrace against the deep coolness of the night. The subtle scent of dried herbs from its fibers, mingled with the faint aroma of beeswax and polished wood from your sleeping chamber, creates a gentle cocoon. The single obsidian lamp in your room casts long, soft shadows, its flame barely flickering in the profound stillness. A quiet invitation, not of duty but of peace, draws you gently away from the platform. You rise slowly, the jaguar hide beneath your feet, offering a final soft press before your bare soles meet the cool, smooth plaster floor. Each step is deliberate, unhurried, as you move towards a low, narrow archway at the far end of your chamber. The air here, in contrast to the inner warmth, feels slightly fresher, carrying a hint of damp earth and distant, night-blooming jasmine. You pass through the arch, feeling the cool, solid stone of the lintel brush softly against your tunic, transitioning into a secluded, open-air gallery. This gallery is a quiet, intimate space, open to the vast, star-dusted night sky above. Along one wall, nestled amidst lush, dark-leafed tropical plants, lies a large, shallow water basin, carved from a single block of polished black basalt. Its surface, in the dim, ambient light of the night, appears utterly still, a mirror to the heavens. The air here is cool and moist, carrying the rich, clean scent of damp stone and verdant foliage, a refreshing contrast to the dry air of the interior. The distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant companion, seems softer here, almost entirely absorbed by the profound quiet. You approach the basin slowly, your bare feet finding the cool, smooth stone of the floor. As you draw nearer, your gaze settles on the surface of the water. It is perfectly calm, so still that it reflects the deep indigo of the night sky with astonishing clarity. And there, at its very center, a luminous orb, the serene reflection of the moon, a soft silvery disk perfectly rendered on the dark liquid surface. Its light seems to tremble gently, not from any disturbance in the water, but from the subtle, unseen currents of the night air. You kneel beside the basin, the cool, smooth stone of its edge, a grounding presence beneath your hands. You lean closer, your breath barely disturbing the fragile reflection. The moon's light, caught in the still water, seems to deepen, radiating a gentle ethereal glow that softens the edges of the dark basalt. You observe the tiny, almost imperceptible imperfections in the stone of the basin's rim, feeling its cool, solid texture against your fingertips. The profound stillness of the water, holding the moon's perfect image, creates a sense of deep, unhurried contemplation. The only sound is the faintest, almost inaudible whisper of a night breeze through the nearby plant leaves, a soft, dry rustle that merely emphasizes the quiet. You close your eyes for a moment, simply absorbing the coolness of the stone, the soft touch of the cloak, and the serene image held in your mind. Opening them again, the moon's reflection remains, unwavering, a beacon of peaceful light in the profound darkness, inviting your thoughts to drift and settle into the tranquil embrace of the night. The serene reflection of the moon, shimmering softly on the still water basin, now gently recedes from your focus. The cool, damp air of the open-air gallery, with its faint scent of night-blooming jasmine, deepens with the profound stillness of the late night. You rise slowly from beside the basin, the smooth, cool stone leaving a faint impression on your hands, and turn towards a narrow, shadowed passage. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders. You move through the unlit passage, your bare feet silent on the cool stone floor, each step deliberate and unhurried. The air here is dry and still, carrying a faint, ancient scent of plaster and settled dust. The passage opens into a small, secluded alcove, your private kitchen space, tucked away within the heart of your residence. Here, the light is soft and warm, emanating from a single, small clay brazier, its glowing embers casting a gentle, rhythmic pulse of light and shadow across the smooth, unadorned walls. The air in the alcove is immediately infused with a complex, comforting aroma. The clean scent of burning wood, a subtle earthiness of clay, and the invigorating, fresh fragrance of various dried herbs. You approach a low, polished cedar counter that lines one wall, its surface cool and smooth to the touch. Upon it, an array of small, carefully labeled ceramic jars and woven baskets holds your collection of medicinal and culinary herbs. You reach for a small, unglazed clay pot, its surface warm and rough beneath your fingers. It rests directly on a low stone hearth beside the brazier, its contents already simmering gently. A delicate wisp of steam rises from its open mouth, carrying with it the faint, clean scent of heated water. You lift the pot carefully, feeling its balanced weight, and place it onto the cedar counter with a soft, almost imperceptible clink. Next, your attention drifts to a small, intricately carved wooden box. You lift its lid with a slow, deliberate movement, revealing a collection of dried chamomile flowers. Their tiny petals a pale, comforting yellow. A delicate, sweet, grassy scent rises from the box, subtle yet distinct. You reach for a small, polished bone scoop, its smooth surface cool against your fingers, and carefully measure a small amount of the dried flowers. You hear the faintest, soft rustle as the flowers are gathered, a whisper of dry petals. You gently sprinkle the chamomile flowers into the warm water in the clay pot. A soft, almost inaudible sizzle escapes as the dry petals meet the hot liquid, followed by a delicate, earthy steam that rises more intensely. Almost immediately, the air around you fills with the soothing, sweet aroma of chamomile, deepening and expanding to envelop the entire alcove. You use the bone scoop to stir the infusion gently, hearing the faint, rhythmic swish of the liquid against the clay, a soft, lulling sound. You then add a single, slender cinnamon stick, its dark, rolled bark feeling rough yet fragrant beneath your fingers. It drops into the pot with a soft, muffled plink, and its warm, spicy aroma quickly begins to mingle with the chamomile. You stir again, watching the small currents within the liquid, the colors slowly deepening from pale amber to a richer, golden hue. The warmth from the brazier radiates gently, a comforting presence in the quiet alcove, as the soothing herbal infusion slowly, patiently prepares itself for your rest. The distant hum of the jungle has softened to an almost imperceptible breath, a constant, tranquil presence. The soothing, sweet aroma of chamomile and cinnamon from your herbal infusion now gently permeates the air in your private kitchen alcove. The clay pot, still radiating a subtle warmth, rests on the cedar counter, its contents slowly steeping. The gentle, rhythmic glow of the brazier's embers casts soft, swaying shadows across the smooth walls. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, a soft, familiar embrace against the deep stillness of the late night. You turn from the counter, leaving the fragrant steam to rise gently, and step into a cool, unlit passage that leads away from the alcove. Your bare feet are silent on the smooth stone floor, each step unhurried, as you move through the profound darkness. The air here is dry and still, carrying only the faint mineral scent of ancient stone, a quiet contrast to the aromatic warmth you just left. You follow the gentle curve of the passage, feeling the consistent coolness of the solid walls around you. The passage opens into a wide, columned hallway, a grander thoroughfare within the royal residential complex. Here, the light is dim, provided by a few strategically placed oil lamps, their soft amber flames casting long, deep shadows between the massive stone columns. The air feels expansive yet still, carrying a faint, dry aroma of polished stone and beeswax, a familiar scent of these ancient, well-maintained spaces. It is then, from a significant distance, that a faint sound reaches you, a deep, resonant asterisk creak, slow and deliberate, followed by a soft, muffled thud. It is the unmistakable sound of a large, ancient wooden palace door, swinging open and then gently closing, far away within the labyrinthine complex. The sound is muted by distance and thick stone, yet distinct enough to register, a quiet echo in the vast stillness of the night. It suggests movement, a silent passage, but far removed from your immediate space. You pause, leaning gently against the cool, smooth surface of a large stone column, feeling its solid, unyielding strength beneath your hand. The subtle vibration of the distant sound, though faint, seems to resonate through the ancient structure, a ripple through the deep quiet. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the sound to simply exist, without seeking its origin or purpose. It is merely a sound, a part of the vast unseen life of the palace, a gentle reminder of the world beyond your immediate, tranquil space. The air around you remains still, holding the faint, dry scent of stone and wax. The distant creak and thud of the door, a slow, gentle rhythm, seems to blend with the muted hum of the jungle, creating a profound sense of peaceful immersion. You open your eyes again, watching the soft, unwavering glow of the oil lamps, their light illuminating the polished surfaces of the columns. The gentle sound of the ancient wood, opening and then closing, offers a quiet, lulling rhythm to the deep night, inviting your thoughts to drift and settle into a profound sense of peace. The distant, gentle creak of ancient wood, a subtle echo of the vast palace, has now faded into the profound stillness of the late night. The soothing aroma of chamomile and cinnamon, a lingering presence from your herbal infusion, still softly perfumes the air in the wide, columned hallway. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, a soft, familiar embrace against the deep coolness of the night. You turn, your bare feet silent on the cool, smooth stone, and move towards a more intimate space. You step into a small, private antechamber, its walls unadorned, allowing for quiet reflection. Here, the light is dim, provided by a single small ceramic oil lamp placed on a low, polished cedar stand, its flame barely flickering. The air is still and dry, carrying a faint, clean scent of polished wood and ancient stone, a familiar comfort. You approach the cedar stand, its surface smooth and cool to the touch, and settle onto a thick, woven reed mat laid directly on the cool stone floor. Upon the cedar stand, a polished obsidian mirror rests, its dark, reflective surface absorbing the lamplight. It is an object of profound significance, not merely for reflection, but for contemplation. You reach out, your fingers slowly approaching its surface. As you lift it, the mirror feels surprisingly cool and dense in your palm, its weight substantial, a testament to the volcanic glass from which it was meticulously crafted. The polished facets of its back feel smooth, almost velvety, under your touch. You turn the mirror gently in your hands, allowing the dim lamplight to play across its dark, reflective surface. It does not offer a sharp, precise image, but rather a soft, diffused reflection, a glimpse into deeper, subtler truths. Your index finger begins to trace the smooth, cool contours of its polished edge, feeling the precise, almost imperceptible curve of the stone. The obsidian is cool, almost cold, against your skin, a grounding sensation in the quiet chamber. Your finger follows the perfectly rounded edge, a continuous, unhurried motion. You feel the subtle, almost microscopic imperfections in the polished surface, the faint undulations that speak of its natural origin, and the patient work of the artisan. The obsidian itself seems to hum with a quiet energy, absorbing the warmth from your skin as you explore its form, a faint, Cool, mineral scent rises from the stone, subtle yet distinct, mingling with the dry aroma of cedar and lamp oil. You close your eyes for a moment, the dark, cool weight of the mirror in your hands a profound anchor. You feel the smooth, continuous curve beneath your finger, a comforting, repetitive motion that helps to quiet the mind. The chamber is utterly still, save for the faintest, almost imperceptible flicker of the lamp flame, and the distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant, lulling presence in the deep night. You open your eyes again, gazing into the dark, reflective surface of the obsidian, allowing its profound stillness to settle deep within you, inviting a sense of peaceful introspection. The lamplight continues to cast its soft, unwavering glow, a gentle companion in the quiet contemplation. The cool, dense weight of the polished obsidian mirror, which moments ago rested in your hands, now gently settles back onto its cedar stand in the private antechamber. A faint, soft clink echoes quietly in the still air as the volcanic stone makes contact with the smooth wood. The dark, reflective surface, which held your serene contemplation, now absorbs the dim lamplight, its profound stillness unbroken. The dry aroma of cedar and lamp oil, mingled with the subtle, lingering scent of chamomile and cinnamon, creates a comforting, enveloping atmosphere in the late night. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a familiar, soft weight around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a gentle embrace. You rise slowly from the thick, woven reed mat, feeling its firm yet yielding texture beneath you for a final moment. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, smooth stone floor, each step deliberate and unhurried. The chamber is utterly still, save for the faintest, almost imperceptible flicker of the lamp flame, casting long, swaying shadows across the unadorned walls. You move towards a narrow, arched opening set high on one wall, a window into the profound darkness of the tropical night. As you approach, the air begins to feel subtly different. It is cooler, carrying a distinct, damp freshness that contrasts with the dry stillness of the inner chamber. You reach the window, its smooth, cool stone frame, a grounding presence beneath your fingertips. Leaning gently against the ancient stone, your gaze drifts out into the immense, inky blackness beyond. The sky is a deep, star-dusted velvet, and the dense jungle canopy below is an impenetrable silhouette, hinting at vast, unseen life. It is then that the pervasive, quiet hum of insects begins to draw your full attention. From just beyond the window, rising from the unseen depths of the jungle, comes a continuous, intricate asterisk, Z, 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 knob, a delicate, high-pitched symphony that seems to fill the entire night. It is not a singular sound, but a myriad of tiny rhythmic vibrations, each one contributing to a collective lulling drone. The sound is constant, yet soft, a gentle, hypnotic pulse that seems to breathe with the very air of the tropical night. You close your eyes, allowing the delicate hum to wash over you, feeling its subtle vibration deep within your ears. It is a sound so ancient, so constant, that it feels like the very heartbeat of the living world. The air, cool and moist against your face, carries the rich, earthy scent of damp foliage and unseen blossoms, mingling with the subtle, grounding aroma of the cool stone. The hum rises and falls with an almost imperceptible rhythm, a natural lullaby that gently presses in from the darkness, inviting a profound sense of peaceful immersion. You simply stand, enveloped in the quiet symphony, feeling the gentle touch of the night air, the comforting weight of your cloak, and the deep, soothing presence of the insect hum. The world beyond the window feels vast and alive, yet perfectly tranquil. The pervasive, quiet hum of insects from the tropical night, which moments ago enveloped you at the window, now seems to soften, a delicate, rhythmic pulse against the profound stillness. The cool, damp air from the jungle carries a faint, earthy scent of night-blooming flora, mingling with the subtle aroma of cedar and lamp oil from your antechamber. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a gentle embrace. The single obsidian lamp in your room casts long, soft shadows, its flame barely flickering in the profound stillness. You turn from the window, leaving the vast, star-dusted night sky behind, and step into a narrow, downward-sloping passage. Your bare feet find the cool, smooth stone of the floor, each step deliberate and unhurried. As you descend deeper into the ancient structure, the air here is dry and still, carrying a faint, mineral scent of aged stone. The passage opens into a secluded, interior courtyard, a tranquil space bathed in the soft, diffused light of the twilight. Here the sky overhead is a deep, velvety indigo, still holding a faint, ethereal glow from the recently set moon. The courtyard is enclosed by high, smooth stone walls, offering a profound sense of privacy and quiet. The air feels cool and still, holding the damp, rich scent of earth and the sweet perfume of unseen, night-blooming jasmine. The distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant companion, seems almost entirely absorbed by the thick stone, leaving only a profound, enveloping quiet. You approach the center of the courtyard, your bare feet making no sound on the smooth, polished stone flagstones. The sensation is one of profound coolness, the stone having absorbed the day's heat and now radiating a refreshing chill. Each step is a soft, deliberate contact, the cool, solid surface, a grounding presence beneath your soles. You feel the subtle, almost imperceptible undulations of the ancient stone, worn smooth by countless footsteps over centuries, yet perfectly even. You pause in the center of the courtyard, simply standing, allowing the cool embrace of the stone to permeate your feet, slowly spreading a refreshing coolness upwards through your body. You close your eyes for a moment, absorbing the profound stillness, the cool, damp air against your face, and the comforting weight of your cloak. The faint, earthy scent of damp stone and jasmine rises gently, a subtle perfume in the twilight. You open your eyes again, gazing upwards at the deep indigo sky, where the first faint stars begin to prickle through the fading light. The courtyard feels utterly serene, a sanctuary of cool stone and quiet air. The sensation of the cool, smooth stone beneath your bare feet is a constant, grounding presence, a subtle anchor in the profound stillness of the twilight. You simply rest, allowing the deep sense of peace to settle within you, feeling the cool, firm earth beneath your soles, and the gentle, unhurried rhythm of the night slowly unfolding around you. The cool, smooth stone beneath your bare feet in the twilight courtyard, which moments ago offered a grounding embrace, now seems to deepen in its stillness. The faint, earthy scent of damp stone and night-blooming jasmine, a subtle perfume in the cool air, lingers around you. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a gentle embrace against the profound quiet of the late night. The sky above is a deep, star-dusted velvet, and the distant hum of insects, a delicate, rhythmic pulse, has softened to an almost imperceptible breath. You turn from the center of the courtyard, your bare feet silent on the polished flagstones, and move towards a wide, arched passage. The air here is cool and still, carrying a faint, dry aroma of ancient plaster and settled dust. Each step is deliberate, unhurried, as you pass through the archway, feeling the cool, solid stone of the lintel brush softly against your tunic. The passage leads you to an elevated, open-air gallery, a privileged vantage point overlooking a significant part of the city. Here, the air feels expansive, stirred by a gentle, consistent breeze that carries the dry, mineral scent of ancient stone warmed by the day, now cooling under the night sky. The gallery is dimly lit by a few strategically placed oil lamps, their soft amber flames casting long, swaying shadows across the smooth, light-colored floor. You approach the low, intricately carved stone railing, its surface smooth and cool beneath your fingertips, and lean gently, allowing your gaze to sweep across the vast, darkened expanse below. Far in the distance, from the heart of a grand ceremonial plaza, a new sound begins to emerge. It is a deep, rhythmic drumming, a slow, steady thrum-thump that rises and falls with an ancient cadence. The sound is muted by distance and the thick stone structures of the city, yet it is distinct, a powerful, resonant pulse that seems to vibrate through the very air. It is not a hurried beat, but a deliberate, almost meditative rhythm, a sound that speaks of tradition and reverence, a deep connection to the cycles of time. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the distant rhythmic drumming to wash over you, feeling its slow, steady pulse deep within your chest. The sound is grounding, a comforting presence in the vast stillness of the night. You can almost feel the vibrations of the stretched animal hides, the skilled hands of the drummers moving with ancient purpose. The subtle scent of damp earth, carried on the breeze, mingles with the dry aroma of the stone, creating a rich, complex perfume in the night air. You open your eyes again, gazing out into the star-dusted darkness, the rhythmic drumming a constant, lulling presence. The distant sound seems to connect you to the wider life of the city, yet from your elevated vantage point, it remains an ambient, non-intrusive backdrop, merely a part of the profound tranquility. You simply stand, leaning gently against the cool, smooth stone railing, allowing the deep, rhythmic drumming to settle deep within you, a peaceful, ancient lullaby that invites your thoughts to drift and soften into the profound rest of the night. The steady, distant beat continues, a constant, soothing pulse in the vast, quiet expanse. The distant, rhythmic drumming from the ceremonial plaza, which moments ago resonated softly in the twilight, now begins to gently fade, becoming an almost imperceptible pulse against the profound stillness of the late night. The cool, smooth stone beneath your bare feet in the secluded courtyard still offers its grounding embrace. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a gentle, familiar presence against the deep coolness of the night. A sense of quiet order, a desire for meticulous placement, begins to stir within you. You turn from the courtyard, your bare feet silent on the polished flagstones, and move towards a low, arched passage. The air here is dry and still, carrying a faint, ancient scent of plaster and settled dust. Each step is deliberate, unhurried, as you pass through the archway, feeling the cool, solid stone of the lintel brush softly against your tunic. The passage leads you into a dedicated scriptorium, a chamber designed for the storage and organization of precious texts. Here, the light is subdued, provided by several small, exquisitely crafted obsidian lamps, their gentle flames casting a warm, steady glow across the room. The air carries a distinct, dry aroma of aged bark paper and polished cedar wood, a familiar and comforting scent that speaks of deep knowledge and careful preservation. Along one wall, a series of low, intricately carved cedar cabinets stands, their dark, lustrous surfaces reflecting the lamplight with a soft sheen. You approach one of the cabinets, its polished wood feeling cool and smooth beneath your fingertips. The delicate carvings of repeating glyphs across its panels are subtle, worn soft by generations of handling. With unhurried movements, you gently slide open a long, shallow drawer. You hear the faint, soft whisper of wood against wood as it glides open, a smooth, quiet sound that barely disturbs the stillness. A wave of dry, earthy aroma, a rich scent of ancient paper, rises from within the drawer. Inside, nestled on beds of finely woven agave fibers, lie dozens of bark paper scrolls, each one a testament to the meticulous work of generations of scribes. These are your astronomical charts and divinatory texts, carefully prepared and preserved. You reach in, your fingers brushing lightly over the cool, smooth surface of a tightly rolled scroll. You feel the subtle texture of the bark paper, the dry, firm resilience of its ancient fibers. You carefully lift one, then another, feeling their balanced weight, the slight resistance of the tightly bound paper. You begin the slow, deliberate process of organizing them. Each scroll is placed with precise care, aligned perfectly with its companions, their ends flush, creating a neat, ordered row. You feel the soft, dry rustle as one scroll settles against another, a barely audible whisper in the quiet chamber. You gently adjust a binding, ensuring it is secure, feeling the dry, rough texture of the agave fibers under your thumb. The lamplight catches the faint, painted glyphs on the exposed ends of some scrolls, their colors muted by time but still discernible. The air around you remains still, holding the profound scent of aged paper and cedar, a grounding presence as the deep night unfolds. You pause, simply observing the satisfying order, the quiet accumulation of knowledge, feeling a deep sense of peaceful purpose. The precisely organized scrolls of astronomical charts and divinatory texts now rest in meticulous order within the cedar cabinet, their ancient knowledge carefully secured. You gently slide the smooth wooden drawer shut, hearing the soft, almost imperceptible whisper of wood against wood as it closes. The air in your scriptorium, still carrying the dry aroma of aged bark paper and polished cedar, feels profoundly still under the soft, unwavering glow of the obsidian lamps. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, a soft, familiar embrace against the deep stillness of the late night. You rise slowly from the woven cotton mat, its fibers yielding with a soft, almost imperceptible sigh, and turn towards a wide, arched passage. As you approach, the air begins to feel subtly different. It is cooler, carrying a distinct, damp freshness that contrasts with the dry stillness of the inner chamber. You pass through the arch, feeling the cool, solid stone of the lintel brush softly against your tunic, transitioning into an open-sided gallery that overlooks a secluded garden courtyard. Here, the sky overhead is a deep, velvety black, dotted with a myriad of stars, their distant light shimmering faintly. The air is noticeably fresh, cool, and humid, carrying a rich, invigorating scent. A light rain has recently passed, leaving the world outside refreshed and deeply quiet. You approach the low, smooth stone parapet that borders the gallery, its surface cool and slightly damp beneath your fingertips. Leaning gently, your gaze drifts across the unseen garden below, now a tapestry of dark, glistening silhouettes. The air is thick with the subtle scent of damp earth, a profound, mineral-rich aroma that rises from the freshly watered soil and stone. It is clean, grounding, and deeply soothing. Mingling with this earthy fragrance, a delicate, sweet perfume begins to unfold. The intoxicating bloom of night jasmine, its unseen white flowers releasing their fragrance into the cool, humid air. The combination is ethereal, a natural balm for the senses. You close your eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply, allowing the layered aromas to fill your lungs, feeling the cool, moist air against your face. From the dense foliage just beyond the gallery, a soft, rhythmic drip, drip, drip begins to emerge, the sound of residual rainwater falling from leaves onto the wet earth below. It is a gentle, irregular cadence, each drop a tiny, liquid whisper that emphasizes the profound quiet of the night. You open your eyes, watching the subtle sway of dark leaves in the almost imperceptible breeze, their surfaces gleaming faintly with residual moisture under the starlight. The air feels still, yet alive with these minute sounds and profound scents. The distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant companion, now seems softened, refreshed, a deeper, more tranquil drone. You simply stand, enveloped in the cool, fragrant air, feeling the gentle touch of the night, the comforting weight of your cloak, and the profound stillness that follows the rain. The subtle scent of damp earth and blooming night jasmine, carried on the cool, humid air, creates a deep sense of peaceful immersion, inviting your thoughts to drift and soften into the profound rest of the night. The gentle dripping continues, a lulling, rhythmic presence. The subtle scent of damp earth and blooming night jasmine, which moments ago perfumed the cool, humid air of the open-sided gallery, now seems to deepen and soften. The gentle, rhythmic drip, drip, drip of residual rainwater has faded to an almost imperceptible whisper. Your finely woven cotton cloak remains a comforting weight around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric, a gentle, familiar embrace against the profound quiet of the late night. The deep, star-dusted sky overhead holds its immense, tranquil presence. You turn from the gallery, leaving the unseen garden behind, and step into a narrow, shadowed passage. Your bare feet are silent on the cool, smooth stone floor, each step deliberate and unhurried as you move through the profound darkness. The air here is dry and still, carrying a faint, ancient scent of plaster and settled dust. The passage winds gently, guiding you deeper into the heart of your personal residence, towards the sanctuary of your sleeping chamber. As you approach the entrance to your chamber, the air subtly shifts. It becomes warmer, imbued with the familiar, comforting aroma of dried herbs and the subtle, sweet scent of beeswax from the polished wooden beams within. The single obsidian lamp in your room casts its soft, unwavering glow, a beacon of calm. You pause just outside the arched entrance, allowing your senses to adjust, preparing for the deeper rest that awaits. It is then, from a spot just beyond your chamber's archway, that a soft, even sound reaches you. A slow, gentle inhale, exhale. A rhythmic, almost imperceptible breath. It is the sound of a sleeping guardian, positioned discreetly, yet attentively, just outside your personal space. The breathing is deep and regular, a testament to profound rest, yet its presence is a quiet, reassuring comfort. It speaks of vigilance, of protection, allowing your own mind to fully unburden itself. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the soft, even rhythm of the breathing to wash over you, feeling its steady, peaceful cadence. The sound is so subtle, so natural, that it blends seamlessly with the profound quiet of the late night. It is a grounding presence, a gentle anchor in the vast stillness. You feel the cool, dry air against your face, the comforting weight of your cloak, and the subtle warmth emanating from your chamber. You open your eyes again, gazing into the soft, amber glow of the lamp within your room, its light beckoning you inward. The soft, even breathing of the sleeping guardian continues, a constant, lulling presence just beyond your awareness. It is a testament to the deep order and security of your world, a gentle reminder that even in rest, you are cared for. You simply stand, enveloped in the profound stillness, feeling the quiet reassurance, allowing your thoughts to drift and soften into the tranquil embrace of the night, preparing for your own deep, unburdened sleep. The soft, even breathing of the sleeping guardian, a subtle and reassuring presence outside your chamber, now deepens into a quieter rhythm, almost imperceptible against the profound stillness of the late night. The comforting weight of your finely woven cotton cloak remains a gentle embrace around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a familiar softness. The single obsidian lamp in your room casts its soft, unwavering glow, a beacon of calm. A sense of quiet introspection, an invitation to observe the subtle dance of light and shadow, draws you further into the chamber's tranquil heart. You step through the arched entrance into your sleeping chamber, your bare feet silent on the cool, smooth plaster floor. The air here is warm and still, imbued with the familiar, comforting aroma of dried herbs and the subtle, sweet scent of beeswax from the polished wooden beams overhead. You move towards the center of the room, allowing your gaze to drift across the smooth, stuccoed walls, their pale surfaces reflecting the soft lamplight. You settle onto your sleeping platform, the finely woven cotton mat and soft jaguar hide yielding gently beneath you, cradling you in their comforting embrace. The cool, smooth texture of the cotton presses against your skin, providing a sense of security and warmth against the subtle coolness of the night air. You lean back, allowing your eyes to unfocus slightly, taking in the serene atmosphere of the chamber. It is then that you notice the slow, deliberate movement of shadows across the stuccoed walls. The single obsidian lamp placed on a low cedar stand casts its gentle light, and as the subtle currents of the night air cause the tiny flame to waver, the shadows respond with a mesmerizing, unhurried dance. The shadows of the carved wooden door frame, with its intricate glyphs, stretch and contract, their edges softening and sharpening in a slow, rhythmic sway. The shadow of a single, dried flower in a small ceramic vase on a nearby ledge seems to grow and shrink, its form subtly shifting, almost breathing with the light. You close your eyes for a moment, simply absorbing the profound stillness, the comforting weight of your cloak, and the gentle warmth radiating from the lamp. You can almost feel the smooth, cool texture of the stuccoed walls through your gaze, imagining the subtle imperfections that create a canvas for this silent ballet. The only sound is the faintest, almost imperceptible flicker of the lamp flame, a delicate whisper that emphasizes the quiet. You open your eyes again, watching the hypnotic rhythm of the shadows. They move with such deliberation, such grace, that they seem to have a life of their own, painting the pale walls with ever-changing, ephemeral patterns. The air in the chamber remains still, holding the comforting aromas of herbs and beeswax, a deep, grounding presence. The slow, deliberate movement of shadows, a silent, ancient dance of light and darkness, fills your vision, inviting your thoughts to drift and soften into the profound rest of the night. Each gentle sway of the shadows is a quiet, lulling motion, drawing you deeper into a tranquil, unburdened sleep. The slow, deliberate movement of shadows across the stuccoed walls of your sleeping chamber, which moments ago held your quiet contemplation, now seems to deepen into a profound stillness. The soft, unwavering glow of the obsidian lamp casts long, peaceful shadows, its flame barely flickering in the profound quiet. The comforting weight of your finely woven cotton cloak remains a gentle embrace around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a familiar softness against the cool night air. A sense of quiet preparation, a mindful ritual before deep rest, begins to stir within you. You rise slowly from your sleeping platform, the finely woven cotton mat and soft jaguar hide, yielding gently beneath you, their familiar textures a final, comforting press. Your bare feet glide silently across the cool, smooth plaster floor, each step deliberate and unhurried. The air in the chamber is warm and still, imbued with the familiar, comforting aroma of dried herbs and the subtle, sweet scent of beeswax from the polished wooden beams overhead. You move towards the center of the room, where a low cedar chest rests, its dark, polished surface gleaming softly in the lamplight. You reach for the cedar chest, its smooth, cool wood feeling substantial beneath your fingertips. With unhurried movements, you gently lift its heavy lid. You hear the soft, deliberate creak of ancient wood as it slowly opens, a deep, resonant sound that seems to fill the quiet chamber before settling into stillness. A wave of dry, earthy scent, a rich aroma of aged wood and stored fibers, rises from within. Inside, neatly folded, lies a stack of freshly woven reed mats, their pale, natural fibers a striking contrast to the dark wood. You select one mat from the stack, its fibers feeling cool and dry against your fingers. As you lift it, a faint, soft rustle escapes, the sound of countless slender reeds gently shifting against each other. The mat is pliable yet firm, its intricate weave a testament to skilled hands. You lay it onto the cool, smooth plaster floor beside your sleeping platform, aligning it with precise care. The subtle, earthy scent of the fresh reeds begins to diffuse into the air, a clean, natural fragrance that blends with the existing aromas of the chamber. You then reach for the soft, tanned jaguar hide that usually cushions your sleep. You lift it with care, feeling its substantial, supple weight, the soft, short fur brushing against your hands. You arrange it precisely over the newly placed reed mat, allowing its dark, rich color to contrast with the pale fibers. A faint, musky scent of tanned hide, subtle and grounding, rises gently, mingling with the fresh aroma of the reeds. The soft fur settles with a quiet sigh, creating a plush, inviting surface. Finally, you smooth a finely woven cotton mat, the same one you woke upon, over the jaguar hide. Its familiar, cool texture presses against your hands, its deep, indigo color a calming visual. You arrange it with meticulous care, ensuring there are no wrinkles, no unevenness. The soft, dry rustle of the cotton is the final sound, a gentle whisper in the profound stillness. You step back, observing the perfectly prepared sleep mat, an inviting sanctuary for rest. The air in the chamber remains still, holding the comforting aromas of reeds, hide, and cotton, a deep, grounding presence as the deep night unfolds, inviting a profound sense of peaceful order and readiness for deep, unburdened sleep. The perfectly prepared sleep mat, with its layers of fresh reeds, soft jaguar hide, and finely woven cotton, now awaits your full embrace in the quiet of your chamber. The soft, unwavering glow of the obsidian lamp casts long, peaceful shadows across the stuccoed walls, its flame barely flickering. The comforting weight of your finely woven cotton cloak remains a gentle embrace around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a familiar softness against the cool night air. The subtle aroma of dried herbs and beeswax, mingled with the fresh scent of the reeds, creates a deeply grounding atmosphere. You turn from the prepared mat, your bare feet silent on the cool, smooth plaster floor, and move towards the center of the room. The air here feels warm and still, a tranquil pocket of warmth within the vastness of the ancient structure. You pause, simply standing, allowing your senses to settle, absorbing the profound stillness of the late night. It is then that you become aware of the gentle, almost imperceptible shift of air currents within your private space. It is not a breeze, not a gust, but a delicate, slow movement, a subtle breath that seems to circulate through the chamber. You feel it first as a faint, cool caress against your exposed skin, a barely there whisper of air that traces a path along your cheek, then drifts down your arm. It is so subtle that if you were not perfectly still, you might not notice it at all. This gentle current carries with it the faint, mingled sense of your chamber, the dry earthiness of the fresh reeds, the subtle sweetness of beeswax from the wooden beams, and the clean, mineral aroma of the cool stucco. The air itself feels soft, almost velvety, as it moves, creating a profound sense of peaceful animation within the stillness. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing your entire being to attune to this delicate dance of air. You open your eyes again, gazing at the soft, unwavering glow of the obsidian lamp. The flame itself, though seemingly still, responds to these imperceptible currents, its tiny light flickering with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, causing the shadows on the walls to sway with an even more subtle grace. The distant, muted hum of the jungle, a constant companion, seems to blend with this delicate movement of air, becoming a single, soft, continuous presence. The gentle, almost imperceptible shift of air currents continues, a soothing natural rhythm that fills your private space. It is a profound lullaby of touch and subtle movement, a quiet invitation to surrender to the deep rest of the night. You simply stand, enveloped in this delicate, living stillness, feeling the soft caress of the air, the comforting weight of your cloak, and the deep, unburdened peace that settles around you. Each subtle current is a gentle push towards deeper tranquility, drawing you into a profound, restorative sleep. The gentle, almost imperceptible shift of air currents, which moments ago caressed your skin in the quiet chamber, now seems to deepen into an enveloping stillness. The soft, unwavering glow of the obsidian lamp casts long, peaceful shadows across the stuccoed walls, its flame barely flickering. The comforting weight of your finely woven cotton cloak remains a gentle embrace around your shoulders, its deep indigo fabric a familiar softness against the cool night air. The subtle aroma of dried herbs and beeswax, mingled with the fresh scent of reeds, creates a deeply grounding atmosphere. You turn from the center of the room, your bare feet silent on the cool, smooth plaster floor, and move towards your prepared sleeping mat. Each step is deliberate, unhurried, as you approach the inviting layers of reeds, jaguar hide, and woven cotton. The air in this part of the chamber feels particularly still, a profound quiet that seems to absorb all sound. You pause at the edge of the mat, allowing your senses to fully settle, preparing for the deeper transition into sleep. With slow, unhurried movements, you gently remove your finely woven cotton cloak, feeling its weight lift from your shoulders. The fabric slides across your skin with a soft, almost inaudible swish, and you carefully fold it, placing it on the low cedar chest beside your sleeping platform. The cool, smooth wood of the chest feels solid and grounding beneath your fingers. The air, now unimpeded by the cloak, feels slightly cooler against your skin, a refreshing contrast. You then lower yourself onto the prepared mat, a slow, deliberate motion. The layers yield gently beneath your weight, cradling your body. First, the firm, dry texture of the freshly woven reeds presses against your skin, providing a subtle, earthy support. Then, the soft, smooth fur of the tanned jaguar hide offers its luxurious cushioning, a gentle, yielding embrace. Finally, the cool, finely woven cotton mat, its deep indigo color a calming visual, settles over you, its fibers soft and familiar against your skin. You lie still, allowing your body to fully sink into the comforting layers of the mat. The air around you is cool and remarkably still, a profound stillness that seems to absorb all sound. You close your eyes, and the darkness is immediate, absolute. It is a deep, cool darkness, not an absence, but a presence, a comforting blanket that presses gently against your eyelids. The silence is equally profound, a complete absence of sound that feels expansive and limitless. In this deep, cool sleeping alcove, the world outside seems to recede completely. There is no distant hum of the jungle, no faint flicker of lamplight, only the comforting darkness and silence. You feel the subtle, earthy scent of the reeds, the soft, grounding aroma of the jaguar hide, and the clean freshness of the cotton, all blending into a single, enveloping perfume. Your own breathing, slow and even, becomes the only rhythm, a gentle, soft, inhale-exhale that seems to fill the profound quiet. Each breath is a deepening into this comforting void, a surrender to the deep, cool embrace of sleep. You simply rest, allowing the profound stillness and darkness to wash over you, carrying you gently into unburdened, restorative sleep. The comforting darkness and silence of your deep, cool, sleeping alcove now fully envelop you, a profound blanket of peace. The layers of fresh reeds, soft jaguar hide, and finely woven cotton cradle your body, their subtle textures a grounding presence. Your own breathing, slow and even, becomes the only rhythm, a gentle, soft inhale-exhale that seems to fill the profound quiet. The subtle aroma of dried herbs and beeswax, mingled with the fresh scent of reeds, creates a deeply grounding atmosphere. You lie still, allowing your body to fully sink into the comforting layers of the mat. The air around you is cool and remarkably still, a profound stillness that seems to absorb all sound. Your eyes are closed, and the darkness is absolute, a complete absence of light that feels expansive and limitless. All external stimuli have receded, leaving only the quiet embrace of your private space. In this deep, cool sanctuary, your thoughts, which may have lingered on the day's tasks or the precise calculations of the calendrical glyphs, now begin to soften. You feel them detaching, gently loosening their hold, becoming less defined, less urgent. They are like wisps of smoke, rising slowly from a distant copal censer, curling and expanding, then gradually dissipating into the vastness of the air. Each thought, as it arises, is acknowledged without judgment, observed without engagement, and then allowed to drift away, unhurried and unburdened. You visualize this process. A thought, perhaps of a shimmering feather or an ancient ceramic vessel, forms briefly in your mind's eye. You watch it, like a delicate curl of smoke, its form clear for a moment. Then, with a gentle, unseen current, it begins to stretch and thin, its edges blurring, its substance becoming less solid. It expands, becoming more diffuse, until it is no longer a distinct thought, but merely a part of the quiet, expansive atmosphere of your mind. The process is slow, deliberate, a gentle letting go. You feel no need to cling to these thoughts, no desire to follow their fading trails. They simply rise, linger, and then dissolve, leaving behind an increasing sense of lightness and spaciousness. The subtle aroma of copal resin, a faint memory from your earlier offering, seems to subtly permeate the air, enhancing this visualization, as if the very air around you assists in this gentle release. Your breathing remains slow and even, a steady, rhythmic pulse that grounds you in the present moment. Each inhale brings a fresh, cool stillness, and each exhale is a gentle release, a subtle letting go of any lingering mental trace. The profound darkness and silence of your deep, cool sleeping alcove are perfect companions to this inner journey. You simply rest, allowing your thoughts to continue their gentle drift, like smoke from a distant censer, dissolving into the vast, tranquil expanse of approaching sleep. The world feels utterly peaceful, unburdened, as you surrender to the quiet, hypnotic rhythm of letting go. The profound darkness and silence of your deep, cool, sleeping alcove now fully envelop you, a profound blanket of peace. The gentle, unhurried drift of your thoughts, like smoke from a distant copal censer, has softened into an expansive, quiet spaciousness within your mind. The subtle aroma of dried herbs and beeswax, mingled with the fresh scent of reeds from your sleep platform, creates a deeply grounding atmosphere, a comforting presence in the profound stillness of the late night. You lie perfectly still, allowing your body to fully surrender to the comforting layers beneath you. The cool, firm texture of the freshly woven reeds presses gently against your back, providing a subtle, earthy support. Beneath that, the soft, smooth fur of the tanned jaguar hide offers its luxurious cushioning, a yielding embrace that cradles your form. Finally, the cool, finely woven cotton mat, its deep indigo color, a calming visual even in the absolute darkness, settles softly over you, its fibers a familiar, gentle touch against your skin. With a slow, almost imperceptible movement, you allow your shoulders to sink a fraction deeper into the soft layers, feeling the slight give of the materials beneath your weight. A faint, almost inaudible sigh escapes, not of effort, but of profound release, as any lingering tension in your muscles gently unwinds. You feel the subtle shift of the cotton fibers as they conform perfectly to the curve of your body, a quiet, accommodating embrace. The air around you is cool and remarkably still, a profound stillness that seems to absorb all sound, leaving only the soft, even rhythm of your own breathing. You notice the quiet weight of your limbs, each one feeling heavy and utterly relaxed. Your arms rest gently by your sides, their contact with the smooth cotton, a soft, continuous pressure. Your legs, extended in a comfortable repose, feel deeply settled, unmoving. The subtle, earthy scent of the reeds, the faint, warm musk of the jaguar hide, and the clean freshness of the cotton all blend together, creating a singular, enveloping perfume of rest. The profound darkness presses gently against your closed eyelids, a complete absence of light that feels expansive and limitless. The silence is equally profound, a vast, unbroken expanse that feels both empty and full, holding only the gentle, rhythmic sound of your own quiet breath. You simply remain perfectly still, allowing the final, soft settling of your body onto your comfortable sleep platform to deepen. Each subtle release, each gentle yielding of the materials beneath you, is a quiet affirmation of profound peace, drawing you deeper and deeper into the tranquil, unburdened embrace of sleep. The world feels utterly peaceful, unburdened, as you surrender to the quiet, hypnotic rhythm of complete rest. The final, soft settling of your body onto your comfortable sleep platform now deepens into a profound embrace. The layers of fresh reeds, soft jaguar hide, and finely woven cotton cradle you, their subtle textures a continuous, grounding presence against your skin. Your own breathing, slow and even, becomes the only rhythm, a gentle, soft inhale-exhale that seems to fill the profound quiet of your deep, cool sleeping alcove. The subtle aroma of dried herbs and beeswax mingled with the fresh scent of reeds creates a deeply grounding atmosphere, a comforting perfume in the profound stillness of the late night. You lie perfectly still, allowing every part of your being to fully surrender to the comforting layers beneath you. The cool, firm texture of the freshly woven reeds presses gently, yet steadily, against your back, providing a subtle, earthy support that feels unwavering. Beneath that, the soft, smooth fur of the tanned jaguar hide offers its luxurious cushioning, a gentle, yielding embrace that cradles the contours of your form, absorbing any residual tension. Finally, the cool, finely woven cotton mat, its deep indigo color, a calming visual, even in the absolute darkness, settles softly over you, its fibers a familiar gentle touch against your skin, a light, protective cover. With a slow, almost imperceptible release, you allow your shoulders to sink a fraction deeper into the soft layers, feeling the slight, accommodating give of the materials beneath your weight. A faint, almost inaudible sigh escapes, not of effort, but of profound, utter relaxation, as any lingering, forgotten tension in your muscles gently, completely unwinds. You feel the subtle shift of the cotton fibers as they conform perfectly to the unique curve of your body, a quiet, accommodating embrace that feels perfectly fitted. The air around you is cool and remarkably still, a profound stillness that seems to absorb every potential sound, leaving only the soft, even rhythm of your own internal pulse, a delicate beat in the vast quiet. You notice the quiet, profound weight of your limbs, each one feeling heavy and utterly relaxed, deeply settled into the cushioning layers. Your arms rest gently by your sides, their contact with the smooth cotton, a soft, continuous pressure, a feeling of complete repose. Your legs, extended in a comfortable, unhurried repose, feel deeply settled, unmoving, their weight pressing gently into the mat. The subtle, earthy scent of the reeds, the faint, warm musk of the jaguar hide, and the clean freshness of the cotton all blend together, creating a singular, enveloping perfume of deep, unburdened rest, a scent that speaks only of peace. The profound darkness presses gently against your closed eyelids, a complete absence of light that feels expansive and limitless, a soft, velvet curtain drawn against the world. The silence is equally profound, a vast, unbroken expanse that feels both empty and full, holding only the delicate, rhythmic sound of your own quiet, steady breath. In this deep, cool sleeping alcove, the world outside seems to recede completely, its distant hum and subtle movements dissolving into an ethereal quiet. You simply remain, perfectly still, allowing the profound stillness and peace of the Tikal night to wash over you, a complete, gentle surrender. Each slow, even breath is a deepening into this comforting void, a quiet, unhurried journey into the tranquil, unburdened embrace of sleep. The world feels utterly peaceful, unburdened, as you surrender to the quiet, hypnotic rhythm of complete, restorative rest.